there, welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at No Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas, and we're joined all the way from Braintree, Essex. Of course, the man of the moment, Samson Dauda.
Hey, what's up? Glad to be back on the show. How's it going, guys?
It's very good, Samson. It's not like you to be late, but you're in demand, mate. You're in demand.
Yeah. Oh, how's it going? Yeah, I'm good. I'm here.
Good. Mate, first of all, huge congratulations on the 4-year deal with Hostile, mate.
Oh, man, thank you, man. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, obviously, you guys know my history with Hostile, and for me, this was more or less just like, wow, opportunity of a lifetime, you know, to be given the opportunity to do this. I'm like, hell, of course, not even nothing to think about.
As soon as I saw that, I realized, obviously because I know your history and I know, you know, what you've gone through, like right from 2020, 2019, you know, the pandemic, everything. And I was so happy because I just thought, I know, because you see these guys signing, you know, 2-year, 3-year, and I knew just what that meant for everything you've been through, everything you've sacrificed as Marlenka as well, you know, because you're a team, you two. So it's a huge deal, isn't it, mate?
Of course, man, because this one, it was just like, you know what, after everything we've been through, to be given an opportunity like this, I mean, what do you say? Like, literally, what do you say? You know, it's been a long road and it's been a lot of sacrifice and a lot of hard work to it. But then to now finally feel like you've proven your point, you've proven your time, you played your dues. And, you know, Hostile have always shown you, they've always shown you support. They've always been there for you. They were the first one to give you a chance when nobody else would. So it was like, man, if they're asking that, look, do you want to stay with us for another 4 years? Would you be interested in having a deal like that? I'm like, hell, of course. This is a simple one. Like, yeah, of course, 100%. You know, so for me, I'm like, you know, for me, I've always had a notion is they were there for me when I had nothing. Yeah. So for me, it's like I'm here with you guys to the end. You know, as long as you guys have me, I'm not going anywhere. I'm with you guys to the very end.
And the thing is, it's like, just forget about the financial security that gives you and Marlenka and Cerberus, you know, and the new house and everything for the next 4 years. It's the fact that like when you had, like, say, when you talked about John Meadows, it wasn't just about what John Meadows did for you. It was the faith back when you were starting out, you know? Yeah,
and this is it. You know, I find now, especially, it's such a powerful thing when, you know, you have nothing and people believe in you and they have faith in you and they believe wholeheartedly that you will get somewhere. You will make it happen. And every time someone seems to have had that belief in me and we sort of moved on with that and they've stuck with me through it and we sort of live and then it happens, you find yourself giving thanks to them and saying, man, you know what, you even believed in me way before I even believed I could do it. Yeah. You know, and that is such a powerful thing to have someone that has that full-hearted belief, not someone that's sort of seen you after you're there, but someone that saw it way before anyone else did and say, yeah, you know what, you got something there and I think you can do it. And I have enough faith in you to actually invest in you to actually make it happen. And, you know, that's priceless. That's something that I just think, forget financial, forget anything else. Someone having that much faith in you is priceless. And for me, you genuinely can't say anything but, you know what, thank you. Thank you a lot for that, you know.
There's a lot to be said for that two-way loyalty.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, they've had my back, and I've been there, and I'm saying, look, I'm not going anywhere. You ask me to do anything, I'll do it because, literally, you gave me an opportunity when there was nothing left. You know, I was still working full time. I was still struggling, grinding just to make it happen. And you know, I know even at the time I reached out to a lot of companies to sort of ask for help and support, and you know, they just didn't see the vision. They didn't see it. They just didn't see it happening, and they weren't interested. And I was like, fair enough, that's what it is. And we carried on grinding, and you know, they came out of nowhere and they said, look, we saw what you're doing. We see what you're willing to do to achieve something. You know what? You know, we think we can help. And, you know, Fua reached out to me and he made that possible. And I'm like, okay, you've done this for me. I'm not going to disappoint you. I'm going to make sure that I prove that, yeah, your loyal, that idea, your belief isn't misplaced.
I think you got, I mean, I said this last time, you got such a good team of support. You got Marlenka, you know, who's been with you from literally day one, you know, before day one. You know, you've got Milos now, who like just is like he's like almost like a father figure to you, you know. And then you've got like Fuad, who's also very, very. I mean, this is a smart guy, a self-made guy that clearly sees things in you beyond what you just do in a contest.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better group of people. You couldn't ask for better people around you. You know, like no matter what I'm going through, no matter how hard it is or whatever I'm confused by, I know there's always somebody at the other end of the phone, of one of them that I could call in and say, look, I'm feeling unsure about this, or I don't know what I'm doing about this. And I could speak to them and they'll be like, okay, they'll give me the right advice. And knowing that the advice they give me is coming from that genuine place, not for any other reason, but just to see me do well.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to say for that. You know, there's a lot to say, having that much trust in people and having them trust you the same way. And, you know, it's amazing. It's really amazing. And, you know, a lot of people sort of see the progress we've made in the past few years and think, oh, it's because of this or it's because of that. No, it's because of the people around me. You know, having that sort of that team around me that is there to support me regardless and sort of lead me in the right path and stop me from, you know, being sidetracked or diverted and put me on that straight and narrow and say, okay, right, this is the goal. You know, let's stick to it. It's amazing, and that's the reason why we're able to improve so much.
Do you feel like, I mean, I know you've spoken on here, and we've spoken personally about some of the stresses you had like 2, 3, 4 years ago, financially. Oh yeah. You know, also the pressure on the relationship and all the stresses that brings with it. Yep. You know, and this vision, like, look, I've got to have to put everything into this. Do you reflect back on those times when you're in that hotel room, when you're in the flat and you're kind of on top of each other and stressed out? Do you think about it?
Of course, you think about it, and you think about how crazy it is, and you think about, like, and this is what I mean, like, I think, you know, the idea of, because now you look back and said, man, I'm glad I had that. I'm glad I went through that, because it makes you value now all that much more. It's not something that you can just say, well, yeah, you know, I just got a 4-year contract. I just got this. And it's like you play it down as if it's nothing, no big deal. But because you knew what it's taken and what you've been through to be in this situation now, you value it like it's the world. You value it because you know, you remember very vividly, you know, very clearly, like what you've been through to be here. You know, and you remember what it means when, you know, hostile and before I reached out to say, okay, we can help. You remember what it means when Milo say, okay, come on, man, let's work together. I think I can get you to this point. I can get to this level. You know what it means, and you value it like, you know, you value like it's just priceless. You value like it's crazy, like, to you. So, yeah, having those memories and having those things, because I genuinely think sometimes you think, well, if you never went through that, how much would you have realized how important this is now? How much would you have really taken it on? How much would this right now sitting here for you to realize, yeah, this is a lot. Value it. You know, so I think that going through all that time and going through that hard time, it makes you value today a lot more.
Obviously now, I mean, certainly since the Olympia, you've got a lot more attention on you now. I mean, literally, you were a little bit late because you're on with some different channel, and you know, I mean, how has it changed for you, and how are you managing that?
I mean, it's absolutely crazy, and you know, I think in one hand, the fact that I'm prepping for the Arnold is sort of a saving grace, because it helps me not just sit there and just be overwhelmed by it. It gives me something to focus on, so I can still focus on, okay, get your cardio done, get your training done, get your meals in, focus, you got a show to do. So by having that still being your main center focus and having your mind still just looking at that, okay, the Arnold, those things that are now happening and how your life is changing, you're able to sort of like, okay, I see it. Put it to one side. I want to focus on this. I see it. Put it to one side. And it sort of makes you not get carried away by those different things and trying to focus too much on them, but gives you that, okay, I see them there. I can see what's important I need to handle now. But at the main time right now, having the Arnold happening, it makes me sort of, keeps me on that straight and narrow, so I can still just focus on the thing that actually really matters. And then when the Arnold is done, I can now sit back and go, all right, okay, what are all the things I need to now really let them sink in? But at the main time, Arnold is the goal. Just focus on that.
We'll come to the Arnold in a bit, but I think with added success or a level up of attention, there can be a big negative side to that if if you allow yourself to be distracted. I had Urs Kalasinski on the other week, and I said, I was worried when you got 4th in the Olympia at 23 years old. You went from being obscure to winning a pro show, bang, 4th place in Olympia. I said, I was worried because as someone, you know, it could be very easy to be distracted or, do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that one for me is always something I always kind of say, even like after we did the Arnold last year and we came 4th in the Arnold, it was almost like, okay, this is a big break. This is a big thing. Yeah. Okay. Is it going to dull you and dull your hunger now prepping for the or going to the Olympics from that Arnold? Is it going to make you feel like, well, we're climbing now, we notice more noticeable now, you're getting good attention now? Is it going to dull your hunger at being in the gym, or dull your hunger for driving for the top spot? Is it going to really dull you? And, you know, having that period was pretty much like the Arnold last year was more or less a taster for me, because having that much attention happen after a show and people now taking notice is like, okay, can you still focus? Can you still go back and train as hard and as hungry as you were before? And you know what? After having last year happen, I'm like, yeah, I definitely can. Regardless of what's happening in front of me, the one thing that is always there and will always be there is the gym.
Yeah.
Go in the gym, do bodybuilding, do your job. That comes first, you know.
What or who would you say keeps you the most grounded?
Oh, yeah, Mel does. That one easy.
Yeah?
She really does. I mean, you know, we finish from the Olympia, and as soon as we get home, it's like, all right, come on now, we got to go do the shopping. Come on then, we got to clean, we got to do everything else. And you're almost like that moment, oh, bump number 6 now. No. Come on. You got to set your stuff out. Go on, let's go.
Yeah.
So it's very nice, because what happens is you have all that happen in one crazy week, you know, that whole thing. And then you come home. And
Vegas as well. It's a very, it's like a dream, isn't it? It's like, it's not real.
Yep. And you have that happen, and you come home back to your normal life, normal gym times, normal everything else, just the way it was, exactly how you left it before you went to Vegas, exactly how you left it before Olympia. And you go back to that same simple routine. Train, eat, same thing over and over, day and over. And I love that. You know, I love that.
I think for you, I think you said about the Arnold being a saving grace. I think the Arnold for you was a good thing, because I mean, literally, we were on the table and you said, Milos, we're doing the Arnold, and Milos went, yes, I hope, because you knew he was going to be happy with that. So really, it's like, because I spoke to Neil Curry, I had him on the other week, and he was saying, I said, are you happy for Samson? And he said, oh, absolutely. He says, the day after the whole hostel, we went buggy, you know, the buggy racing. And he says, I'm telling you now, Samson, he said, he literally said you could see that it hadn't even sunk in.
No, it doesn't. And even now, I mean, the thing is, people are like, but trust me, after Olympia, I haven't had a minute to really sit down and let it sink in.
Yeah.
You know, we're having a lot of things happen. Like, even like post Arnold, we got a lot of appearances and a lot of traveling to do and everything else.
Fantastic.
Booked in and all these things to do. And honestly, although we've booked it and sort of have idea of what's going on and all these things is happening, because I've been so focused on just the Olympia prep, just the Arnold prep.
Yeah.
It's made me sort of, okay, that's cool, but it keeps me grounded to focus on the main task at hand.
Yeah.
And although those are all good things, it sort of puts that idea of, okay, that's all good, but you got to do your job. Keep doing your job. Keep coming in. Keep training. Keep doing the same thing you've been doing leading up to the Olympia. Just carry on that same pattern. All that will sort itself out when you're done. But finish the job you're doing. And honestly, because it's been like that, I haven't actually stopped and say, okay, what happened? Let's take it all in now. You haven't had a minute to really let it sink in yet. So you're just so focused on the next task that you haven't had to do that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when the Arnold is done, it's probably the first time I could finally come off a diet, come off a plan, have a few weeks of just, okay, all right, what's happened in the last few months? Let's all digest this in now slowly, because until then, I haven't actually had it really sink in yet.
It'll be on one of those long dog walks you do with Malenko up on there, because you go off all these places. You'll be walking along and you'll be like, holy shit, what just happened?
Yeah, and it really is going to be that hit you moment. And I'm just going to be like, okay, I need to sit down a minute here and catch a breath air, because I'm really letting it all come to me now, And it's really crazy to think, like all this has happened in the space of months and your life is all just completely flipped and changed. And you're like, okay, I see it, but I don't have time to really focus on it just yet. I got a task to finish. And once I'm done with that, yeah, cool. But it's a lot to take on. It's definitely going to be a lot to, it's definitely going to be a hit when he's done.
I just heard the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air music playing just in my head there. My life turned flipped upside down.
Oh, man.
You should do a Fresh Prince routine. You should do a guest posing as a Fresh Prince.
But yeah, it's definitely going to be something crazy like that, Well, honestly, it's something like you're really proud of, and you really kind of like, because you stop back and you try to think about it and go, man, this is crazy. This is genuinely crazy. Like, at what point did you think this was going to happen in months. Like, you know, you hoped one day, but now it's happening. You almost like you worked so hard for so long to get it, and now you got it. It's like, holy crap, wow, it's happened. Like, genuinely happened. Like, at what point do you really expect to love really make you understand that, yeah, you did it. You really did it.
And what were the odds of you getting that number next to Rami? Because that's what you said. You spoke it to the universe, and what happened?
Yeah, and this is one where you just kind of speaking into truth, man. He's like, yo, if you get an opportunity to stand next to Rami and Brandon, again, what would you do? What would you do differently this time? How would you stand up on your own? And going there and then having that happen, it was like, oh my God, okay. You asked for it, now make it happen. Do it, let's do it. You know.
I sent you the video. I got the video of it. I got the video.
I
was like, yeah, because I was going nuts. I was like, that's what he wanted. That's what he said he wanted. And it been brought out numerically. Oh, it was so exciting because that was a real. That was because when you called out numerically stuff for the sake of the viewers. That's when that's when we get our first look. So our first look of Rami next to anyone was next to you in that first 5 call out.
And this is why we, you know, honestly, it was such a buzz because when we were having the athletes registration, and obviously you picked out that number, because I remember sitting there at the time when they were obviously calling the athletes to come pick up their number, and I could see all the guys going, and I'm thinking, man, I'm right back down there, like 30 guys, I'm right here, and I'm like, man, when are they gonna call me? And then they called me up and I walked up and I picked out number 29. I'm like, okay, I'm second to the last guy, and I'm thinking, hold on. Ain't Mr. Olympia always the last guy?
Always.
And I'm like, and I look behind me, see, I was like, does that mean what I think it means? I'm like, so technically, whatever happens, I'm standing next to Rami at one point. And I'm like, oh crap. And you can imagine, like, that is such a nerve-wracking moment. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, quickly, I want to get out here and get on the phone. Milos, you ain't going to believe this. You ain't going to believe this. Yeah. And I remember calling him up and telling him that I'm next to Rami 21. And he lost his shit and we lost our mind. Like, nice. Oh my God. And you know, at least it's almost like, everything is, it's almost like this form of panic of, oh my God, this is crazy. Okay. We gotta. And you know, like, and you're thinking, oh man, oh, this is insane. We're gonna get a chance. Or like, you know, and you know, the nerves kicks in and everything else, and you're thinking, okay, come on, man. You know, this is what you asked for. This is what Milos has gone on about for almost all year, going, oh, put him next to this guy. Put him next to this guy. Let's see. Why don't you put him next to this guy? And now it's like, well, there's your chance. Whether you like it or not, you're standing next to him. You know.
Did you do a little Carlton dance?
Oh, but honestly, it was the funniest thing ever. You're sitting there, you think, okay, well, this is your opportunity now, man. Make it count. And you know, like I said, like when we first came out, you didn't know. I mean, I didn't know if you had enough size or enough man to even stand next to him. But I was like, you know what? You said no matter what happens, regardless of what you think, you're going to stand there, you're going to fight, and you're going to pose your ass off to make sure I not back down 1 inch and make sure you make it count.
Now,
you know,
when you two came out on stage and those first 30, like I said, you were the last two, so we'd already seen everyone.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about this, you were saying, oh, please, I just want to make top 10.
Yeah.
And we had people saying, oh, Rami's going to win a third one. And then the shock and the surprise of coming out and saying, Samson's beating Rami here.
You know how insane that feels. And the thing is, even at the time, because I didn't know that at the time, I was just like, okay, pose your ass up next to him, make sure you hold your ground. Don't back down. Don't feel intimidated. Don't feel like, oh my God, this is Mr. Olympia. Whatever. Hold your ground and pose like you've meant to be there. And we kind of did that and went through that round. And I'm like, okay, I think I did all right. And I went backstage and, and there was just this silence of people just looking over like.
Really?
Oh man, it was eerie. And I remember the camera guy that was sort of videoing backstage sort of came up to me because he came up to me beforehand. He was kind of calm me down and said, Lauren, you look good. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. And then he came back up to me and he was like, Sam, you just held your own against Rami.
Wow.
He goes, the minute you walked out, the minute two of you walked out, every single one of us backstage just went, ooh. We all saw it. It was like every one of us went, ooh. Yeah. And he goes, we felt that moment. And I was like, really? He goes, man, you have no idea.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I suppose that's a good thing, because at this point you don't even know if you're going to be first call. You don't even know. So I'm just thinking, well, I suppose that's the highlight for my Olympia, I guess. So I'm like, okay, that's
not yet.
a good thing. So when we, after that, you walk out like with groups and everybody they bring everybody out. And I'm saying, okay, this is seeming like this is going to be a good start to the Olympia. Well, I've got that, so great. And you're standing there and you're looking at all the guys and you're looking at how much they are, and you're thinking, well, if whatever happens now is out of my power, let's just see what happens. And you're looking at so many guys on there, looking so incredible and so wow. And you're thinking, man, this is a crazy lineup. It's one thing seeing on a screen. It's one thing looking at it on picture, but when you're standing there amongst it, that much talent and that much muscle and that much physique, 30 guys stand in front of you, all muscular and things, it's a sight to behold. Honestly, it's like you kind of step back and go, holy crap, these are the best of the best.
And you belong.
And you're standing there, and honestly, it's daunting. So I'm standing, I'm thinking, well, I guess if I make second call out, I'm not gonna be complaining about that. This looks like there's a lot of talent on here.
And the thing is about something like hype. I remember when Richard Jones back in the 2004, they were like, this guy is a potential Mr. Olympia. He then went to the Olympia feeling great. He got last place.
Oh.
So there's someone that had a lot of hype, and imagine the disappointment when that happens. But then there's hype, so much hype. And I guess that comes with pressure. But then look what happens. You live up to it. Like I said, I think 5th to 8th first call up. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. And and this is the thing, is like the pressure coming in, that was so much. And you felt every little bit of it. You felt every inch of it. And we kept on, like, obviously thanks to Mel and Milos. And Mel was the most clever-headed one amongst all of us. And it almost keep us on track and just like, look, don't forward into it. You're getting a lot of hype. Our goal was just make top 10. Try to center your thoughts, just that. Keep it simple. Just don't move with it. Just keep it simple. Focus on what the goal is. Focus on the plan. Don't deviate. Just hold that thought. Just keep holding that same thought. So even when people, oh man, we have you in first call out, we have you in this, we have you this, and I'm like, yeah, but my goal is still the same. I just want this. I just want to make top 10. If I make top 10 this line, that's good enough. So when you felt that, the pressure gets higher and higher and closer to the show, and you're thinking, man, this is getting crazy, and I don't know how I can survive under this. And by the time it builds up to the point where you get backstage, it's so big, it's so heavy on you, that you're just like, man, wow. All you just think to yourself is like, I hope I'm good enough to deliver. I know I've done my work. I know I've brought my best, but I hope it's good enough to just deliver, But
even to say making top 10, that means then you would have been beating guys that have done several Olympias, because you've won one pro show.
Yeah.
So to then go into, say, even top 10, that's a big leap up.
It's a big step. And already
your first Olympia.
That was already like, because remember I was saying, about like, all right, other than the guy, I kind of put this perspective, okay, who are the UK guys that's ever made top 10 in their first Olympia? And I was like, I know Dorian, obviously. And I'm like, okay, who else has really made top 10, in their first Olympia? And in recent times, I didn't know anybody else I have. So I was like, well, that would be a good accolade to have. So I'm like, well, there we go. That's my target. I'll just be top 10 in the first Olympia. That would be enough for me to walk away after my first Olympia going, well, I made top 10 in my first Olympia. That was good enough. And obviously that was even before the lineup really went nuts and be as crazy as it was. This was way before then, And then
not an average Olympia, was it?
The lineup got harder, bigger and heavier. And by the time we got to the Olympia, it was like the biggest and craziest lineup we've ever had. And you're like, okay, I'm still hoping for that top 10, but this is crazy. But you never know.
Because thing is, in previous Olympias, those guys say wouldn't make top 15, but this because they were off.
Yeah.
But you were up against guys in the shape of their life that last call out. And it was
crazy. It's insane. And when you think about it, how crazy that was, and this is almost the Olympia to trump all of Olympia. This is Olympia where he goes, everybody was there. Everybody that truly, all the heavy hitters was there. So if you're ever going to get a ranking of where you truly stood in the world, this will be it.
Yeah.
This will be the one, So it was that point of, okay, for the first time, if you do well, whatever you're doing this work, it sort of reinforces your mind to know exactly how you are right now, where you could stand right now, where you could be. So it'll be a nice, good sort of like a reassurance for yourself to really bring out that belief in yourself to say, okay, right, I know this is where I am. It's not a question, it's not a doubt. It's I've done it, I've gone on stage, and it's official. That's where it is, you know. So for me, it felt like that was the main merit, was that, okay, get a proper reinsurance of where you stand. You know, you're going up against everybody. All the best of the best are here. So when you land, wherever you land there is, okay, this is where you could be, you know. So for me, it was having that. And when we kind of put up the mind, okay, I just want to be ranked top 10. That would be good. That would be a good place to walk out with. So, you know, then, you know, you're standing backstage and we kind of come in and they bring us all out as a group and
stood backstage like this because there's no room.
Like literally, you know, and you bring us a group and you're standing there and you're like, okay, you get into the call out. And believe me, them call outs are the most, of all the things you can do in bodybuilding, standing there waiting for a call out is the most daunting time of your life. It's so powerful. It's so extremely nerve-wracking that nobody understands that. I mean, you could probably stand there watching and go, okay, right, who's going to be the first call out? Oh, let's see. But when you're standing on that stage and you're waiting for the call out, you're hoping and praying, okay, would I hear my name? You know, and I've been in shows before where first call out, you're not in it. And you're like, okay, well, we're not first call out.
So I'm 6th through 10th at best now.
Cool, all right, second call out.
You're
not in it. Oh, okay, well, that's me done. This is my show pretty much done. You know, and you've been in shows where you've been there, and believe me, with every one you miss, your confidence is like, you know, and then you get called to stand in there and you're literally fighting yourself to stay hungry and like, come on, man, you can still fight, you can still make it, and you're trying to bring yourself back up, but you can feel the crushing blow bringing you down.
Plus, the more time, I remember Victor Martinez at the 2020 Arnold Classic, and he's someone that comes out strong and fades fast. So he needs to be in that first call out to look his best. Otherwise, you literally see these guys, and also mentally, they deflate. They deflate.
And you literally see a physique can change from the first time they walk out to when they make that call out.
100%.
And you think you've never seen anything like it in your life. And this is, that's the nerve-wracking part of being in that call out, standing there waiting to be called. It's so extreme to feel it. You standing there and you're like, okay, so can we have this and that, and this person and that person? And you're standing there going, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. So when you're there, of all the shows, you're there in the biggest Olympia and the craziest lineup you've ever had. And you're thinking, oh, this is going to be this. Here we go again. This part, I really do not like this part. I don't like it at all. And then you go in Hattie, Nick, Brandon, who's again? Derek. And then you hear Samson. And Rami, and you almost stop to do a double take, like, what? And he's like, and you kind of stop and going, and you're walking out, you're going, okay, and you keep praying, you don't hear, oh, I'm sorry, mistake, I meant.
Did I hear, because like, honestly, mate, I personally lost my shit when I went, fucking hell, he's done first call out, yes. That was my Olympia made, mate, already that.
Oh. Man, it's insane. The feeling, there's no way you can explain that. You can't replicate that. It's insane how good that feels. If your confidence at any point was down here, the minute you hear that, it blows out through the roof. You completely like, okay, all right.
It's on.
You literally walk out, like, let's go. You know. And I remember standing there, we go through the first call out, and I remember Milo saying to me, and we're leading up the show going, because we practice posing so much. And he's saying, they're going to work you guys. They're going to work you. So you better be good to go round after round and not fall apart. So we went through our posing over and over and over and over. Okay, how many rounds can you do without breaking a sweat? How many rounds can you go with holding together? So we went through that a lot, 20 minutes straight every morning, over and over and over again. I remember the closing weeks, I was so fed up with doing this thing.
It's important.
So when we were on that stage and we did the first quarantine, they did like 2 or 3 rounds with us. And then they said, okay, guys, go back. You can get off the stage now. And I'm like, okay, they didn't leave me back for, they always leave a few guys back to join the second call out. I'm like, what? I can go, like, I'm officially in the first call out. I can go. And I'm like, okay. And, you go back out and I'm like, all right, this is, man, okay. And at that point, your mind is already thinking, whatever happens now, we've already done it. It doesn't matter.
Thing is, I spoke to, also, William Bonac was saying very good things about you because he's in this episode and I interviewed him earlier today.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And he told me, because obviously, what were you on stage? 11 o'clock midnight?
Yeah.
He said you all had to be there for 6 o'clock. You had to be there. So you've been...
We were waiting that whole time backstage, yeah. We sat there, we're waiting and everything else. I mean, good thing
6 hours, 5 hours.
Because for me, because I've done so many shows.
Yeah.
All around Europe, all around the world, everywhere else. We used to being waiting backstage.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys that only get a chance to do Olympia or to do big shows, they probably not used to that themselves. But we're used to, okay, you be backstage for 7 o'clock show, you don't go on stage for 10 o'clock. So we know that, okay, take your meals with you. What time you're going to be there? You're probably likely going to be, okay, take your meals for the rest of the day with you. Take the water you need, take whatever you need. Okay, go down backstage and just lay down and fall asleep and just relax like you would in the hotel.
Yeah.
If your next meal time comes up, you have that meal. Okay, wait up. And wait. When they tell you, oh, okay, you got an hour or 45 minutes or 20 minutes left, that's what you have. But still play it like you're just sitting in your hotel room waiting to go on stage. Just when you're backstage, just try to relax and just play that same way. So when we were backstage, I had my 8 o'clock meal come up. I messaged me, I was going, okay, everything is cool. We're still waiting. What do you want me to do? We go, okay, have the meal. Well, how long do they say you're going to be? I'm like, people are saying an hour. Some people are saying 45 minutes. So he's like, okay, have your meal. So I sat down, had the meal, went back to sleep, chilled out.
So you felt, because
after a while, it was so long that you just end up falling asleep. And we were all laid down, found the low spots, and I went to sleep. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't even surprised I could sleep, but I was like so tired of it. I was like, okay, went to sleep, woke up, next meal.
Best thing.
I'm messaging him like, look, we're here. On the sound of it, we probably won't be on for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah.
What would you have me do? He's like, okay, have your next meal. How's your drinking going? Yep, I've drank this much. Still have this much left to go. It's okay, keep going. And we just did that. We just played it by ear and not by the idea of, okay, we have to be on this time. Why are you not on at this time? And it's having that experience where we know there's been so many times we've been backstage in shows and they never go exactly the way the time you're supposed to be on. You just have to be prepared for that. As an athlete, that's your job. You're professional. You're supposed to just be prepared for the worst, but hope for the best.
I did because obviously sat in the audience, people were going, shit, it's getting late. There was probably more tension actually in the audience.
Well, they don't understand
because a lot of us were going, these guys are going to be going nuts backstage. And I didn't know about all the lack of space backstage. And I was thinking, are these guys okay? Because this is quite stressful. If you're that way inclined, it could have been really stressful for you.
It could have been that stressful, even because honestly, when you're sitting there waiting, and if you were standing, and the thing is, if you were sitting there with the idea of, okay, come on, man, I gotta go.
Yeah, which some guys are like that.
Some guys are like that, so their stress level huge. But if you learn to just kind of like relax and just, okay, just take it like, if right now, if you were in your hotel room, what would you be doing?
Yeah.
You'd be laying on your bed, trying to watch or trying to distract your mind and just waste the time and wait for your next meal and waiting for yourself to dry out. So try to do that. So basically that's what you try to replicate backstage. Obviously, it's a lot harder when you're sitting there and you're basically all squashed together and like, trying to find a space, but once you have your space, you just relax, and try to relax as much as you can while you're there, and that's what we sort of did. And that, for me, I was like, okay, that was it. And I remember sort of like when they finally came up and they said like, oh, you guys, okay, you got 20 minutes.
Wow.
And I was like, okay,
wake up, Samson.
We start getting ready, and this is the thing is like. A lot of people, I was pumping up backstage, and I started pumping up, and I was like, okay, I can't get a pump.
Oh, God.
All right. I'm like, okay, I'm probably flattening out too much now. I can't get a pump. So I'm like, okay. So I'm messaging Mel. I'm like, look, we got a problem, man. I can't get a pump. I'm completely flat. And at this point, you thinking panic. What do you do? Oh my God. Yeah, I'm lifting the weights. I'm trying to get pumped up and nothing's happening. I'm just like, okay, going away at it. And I'm like, okay, what would you have me do? Like, what do you? And Mel said the same thing going to me. She said, look, remember, even the whole prep, even when you're at your flattest point on a Friday after all week of dieting, you're still round and fuller than everybody else can possibly see. Nobody can ever, hardly no one can ever tell when you're flat to when you're full.
Hang on. Neil said to me, he said Samson's the sort of guy that even when his food goes low, he still looks round and full. Because the thing is, I think it's more, personally, I think it's more psychological when you feel flat, but you might look full to bursting. So how did you feel opposed to, how did you look as opposed to how you felt? If you felt flat, how did you look?
So I felt flat, and obviously you can tell that I'm not the same pop, the same way I normally would have it. But then I stood there in the mirror and I'm pumping up. I'm like, well, as I'm pumping up, I can see veins popping and I can see the roundness of it still there. And I'm like, well, I know full well that regardless if I'm flat or full or not, most people can't tell. I'm like, well, the more, because some guys, the more they pose, they kind of deflate. But some guys, the more they pose, the better they get. So do you feel confident that as soon as you start posing, you'll look fine? I'll look fine. I know I feel confident when I start posing, because what happens to me is, especially when you look back at Olympia, and I can see it now, is what happens, my lines don't get as deep. They look more shallow.
Okay.
So I could sort of see that. And it's almost like almost like a tell that we notice that, okay, that's your tell. When we were flat, normally you can't. If you just think about, how big is his chest, how big is his shoulder, how big is his arms, if you're looking at that, you're going to automatically think, oh man, he's full as a house. But then the tells are, okay, how deep is the separation in his quads? How deep is the separation around his shoulders?
I'm glad you said that.
You know, when you see that deep, really deepness, you're like, he's full. When you don't see that deep cuts, like as deep, almost like not you can put a coin in it.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, he might just be just a little bit flat. But most people don't see that because they fall for the illusion of how big and round you look.
I think looking and feeling full is a bit of it's a bit of not of a fallacy, but you know, you can look full and it all counts about how the separation looks. And this the muscle looks nice and separate, it doesn't matter how you feel. It's about how it's going to look on stage.
Yeah. And this is the thing, and this is why we, you know, I always kind of like, I mean, all prep people are saying, focus on your weight, and I'm like, I'm not focusing on it because all I want to know is how does it look. Because this is the one thing, is how you look. How do you judge that? It's based off how you look. So when I was backstage and I was pumping up, I'm looking, I'm going, okay, well, the lines are clearly there. You know, the roundness is there. I know people can't tell, so I was just like, okay, let's do this. You know. So we walked out, and it was that idea of, okay, I know for what I can come out, chest is going to be full, everything else is going to be. So even when we went round after round on posing, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, this is what I practiced. This is what we went through. So, you know, we did the first round with them. We pulled us back. And then, you know, we were then standing there ready for, okay, go, because we were the last group. I mean, we were the first group, so automatically they then have to pose all the guys round after round. Yeah. And then bring back the first caller in for after the prejudging. So we were standing on the side, ready to go up again. And then I'm like, okay, and I hear Steve call Samson and, you know, Bonac and Andrew and everything else. I'm like, damn, okay, cool. You know what? Yeah. I'm like, damn it, okay, let's just go fight. Let's just go fight. Come on, let's go. So I go on that line. At this point, you know, when you've already been in the first car, your confidence is already like, look, I don't care. I'm fighting. I'm going to be back in that first car. I'm not giving up anything. I'm holding my spot. Nobody's taking it from me. You know, and when we go through that round, and it's like, okay, we go there, and then we pose in second call out. We pose in there, and we finish the rounds on that. And I'm thinking, okay, it doesn't matter how many times you pose me. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to smile, and I'm going to do this all day if I have to. But I ain't moving an inch. Nobody's taking this away from me. It's mine. And then we finished that call out, and then we did 2 call outs with them. And then Steve says, oh, okay, Andrew, you know, Bonac, Hunter, and then go back. Samson, stay there. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And I'm standing there thinking, okay, what's coming? And then I'm hearing, okay, Hardy, really, and you know, And I'm like, tried and tested. Because the thing is, you know, the way that Steve calls him and moves him back, you're kind of quickly calculating, okay, that means I'm ahead of this guy. And so, you know, you're kind of, because obviously you're constantly trying to figure out how they're perceiving you, where you're at, where you're placed, who you're beating, whether you've moved up, you know. So, you know, so when you get that, there's a lot going through your mind. Yep, and you know, and you're like, okay, here we go, you know, and you stand and I'm like, all right, we're gonna go through them. And at this point, I'm just thinking, you know what? At this point, I don't really care. The first call out in Olympia, I'm right there with these guys, and I'm fighting it all through to the very end. Let's do this, you know. And then we go through the 2 or 3 call-outs at the end, and it was like, okay, thank you guys, that's it for the night. And I had so much energy left at the end of that. I'm still standing there posing away like, man, this is the awesome, best feeling ever. I don't want this to end. You know, this is awesome, you know. And it's a surreal feeling, man. It's a surreal feeling because like all your hard work, all that time grind and everything else, and it's like, yeah, you paid off. Yeah. It wasn't for nothing.
When this episode comes out, normally I do the interviews and then I film hot news afterwards, and then I'll go through your Instagram account. I go through certain things and posts, and there's a post I've gone through because, like I said, I filmed it before we did this. I've done your recent posing program, the one that Milos said. He said, "Oh, Samson's sending me an update," and then you posted it on Instagram. Yeah. Your quads look more separated and harder at 6 weeks out than they did at the Olympia. So what's going on? Is it just because you're ahead, or is it something improving?
Because it makes someone make sure that this time we're so improved. Because, you know, for me, it's always a game of this. Okay, whatever physique you saw last, the next time you see me on stage, I would have blown it away. Yeah, you'll be completely transformed. And regardless of how much time off we have or whatever, I'm always working on the idea that I would never look better at a past show than I do in my next one. Yeah. So when we came off the Olympia, we break down everything, analyze everything. We say, okay, right, what do we want for the next one? It's like, okay, we want you harder, we want you sharper, but we do not want you to lose that size and that roundness you had. Yeah. So we got to make it work. So straight away, we start grafting at that. And now we're standing here going, man, you look better now than you did at Olympia on stage. Yeah,
like I said, the quality in your quads and I was like, because like you're not a condition guy, but your physique's most attributes are its flow, its shape, and so I always think you know Milos must be constant, and you and Marlenka must be constantly thinking, okay, we've got to get the fullness. If we go for a little bit extra condition, are we going to lose 20% fullness? It's like always because you're trying to figure out what's best for your physique. Yeah, and the best look.
It's like because you know this is the thing where we always struggle. Like this is what always happens. Like people always say, "Oh, just get completely shredded. Don't worry, just get completely shredded." But we've tried that in the past. And what happens is we get dry and shredded. And we're like, okay. And then the same people that said, oh, just get completely shredded, we turn around and go, oh, if you were just fuller like you were last time. And you're like, this is it.
Bloody trying that.
You know, and you end up, you end up getting frustrated because then they're like, oh, he just needs more size. Or he just needs more. And you're like, we just came down to shred. And now you're telling me we needed more size. Yeah. So we ended up playing this for years. And we've kind of learned, okay, you can't, no matter how much people outside looking in say, oh, he just needs to be more shredded. He just needs to be. And I was like, well, there's more to it than just that. You know, we always constantly have to weigh up, okay, how sharp can we possibly bring you without losing that freakish roundness that you have that makes your physique so amazing when you walk out. Everybody goes, whoa. Because you can get completely dry and shredded, but then you lose that pop and that roundness. Yeah. And when you lose that, you just be like, okay, that's a nice physique, but it doesn't. It's not impressive. You might come in with absolutely dry, shredded glutes and stuff, but you might look worse. You might do. And the thing is, you might do worse. And you know what's funny? Because even Bob said that to me last week, and he said it to me in Olympia. It was like, you know, everybody's, oh, you just need to get shredded glute. You need to get this. You need to get shredded. And he goes, yeah, I remember 2019 when you did the British finals. And the British Championship, and you stood next to Nathan, and you guys head to head, and you were big and round as a house, and you were full as anything, and you could just been a little bit sharper. And I said to you, okay, the Chicago is following week, just come in drier and sharper, just lose another 5 pounds, another 10 pounds, and you'll be spot on. Did that, we lost 6 pounds, we dried out, came in Chicago, and it was like, oh, you look better than last week.
Yeah.
And you stood there going, well, but we were hard. It was like, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't Samson. It wasn't that wow. He didn't have that wow factor. So now when people sort of, you know, yell the comments and people go, oh, just be shredded, I'm like, yeah. You're like, you know what? Trust us to do what we do. We know what we do. We've done this enough times. Because what you think that would help our physique necessarily doesn't always do it. So we always have to make sure that each time we push that conditioning one hand, we got to make sure we go back and look and go, okay, right, are we still holding on to the fullness and roundness? Are we still, okay, now push a little bit more, look back, are we still got it? Okay, push a little bit more. So we always constantly have to play that line of, okay, You gotta be big and round and full, but you have to pull it in even more. Okay. And what happens is you don't see like what you're seeing now, where the quads are so deeply separated and so dry and so gnarly, but the roundness you have around the shoulders and the chest and everything else, that roundness is still there.
Yeah.
And you're constantly trying to have to make sure that you have all that in one take, because the minute we try to go from one extreme to the other extreme, you lose one or the other. So you're constantly playing that balancing act. And what we're finding now, especially where that muscle maturity is now starting to really kick in, is getting easier to balance those two.
Yeah.
It's no longer now like, oh, you're here or you're here. It's now getting to the point where you find a nice center point with it.
You see, that's the good thing about sticking with one coach and sticking with him good. Like people are like, so like with William Bonac, I was talking to him and it's like, where's Chad Nichols to explain himself? And it's like, look, it's a new coach. What worked for them at the Boston and the Arnold last year? They obviously tried something to come in a little bit drier, and look what happened. Douche. This is the top 5 guys slipping down to 9th place because they obviously... because my point is he's got Milos is trying to learn your body and trying to figure out the best, and he's probably got, Milos, like, he'll have loads of notes of every single show. And
man, so much from literally from the very first minute he took over my prep to now, he has every notes and everything he's ever done and every change he's ever made. And he always goes back and go, okay, 20, when we did the Arnold, you were this, and then when we did Boston, we did this, maybe we should try this again, and we all kind of play into what works and what doesn't. But you have to let that guy for a coach to make mistakes. You have to give him that chance for them to learn your body. It's never going to be a clean, okay, I do this and perfect. Okay, I do that and perfect. Your body they have to learn, okay, how your body works and how that do. And that comes with trying some things that won't work.
Yeah.
And then they can be like, okay, right, we try this, but maybe we'll go back and reverse and try something what we did last time, or maybe we didn't try something new. Yeah. You have to give them that chance to make mistakes. You can't just, because you did one show and you weren't as good as you were, you basically go, no, I need a new coach now. But then you're going to go through the same process again with the next guy. We've
seen it happen, coach hopping, and it very rarely works out.
It never works. It rarely works.
Okay, guys, sorry, I had a bit of a connection issue, so I've rang you back there, mate. So your voice was starting to go a bit slow. So, sorry, you were saying about, I had Bonac in this episode, and he said some really lovely things about you, mate.
Yeah, and that's what I'm just saying, like, people sort of look at what's on social media and they think like these bodybuilders were there bumping heads and trying to fight with each other and stuff like that. They don't understand, like, we all understand the struggle we all have to be at this level. Absolutely nobody gets to this level by luck or by chance. We all have to grind through foot and nail and hell to get here. So we understand each other's struggle. So when we're there in that position, like the Olympia, I remember when I made the first call out and the first person, they all came up to me and said, man, when I came up to me and said, like, man, brother, congratulations, man. I knew you could do it.
Nice.
Well done.
Yeah.
Brandon came up to me and say, well done, Samson, man. We always knew you could do it. Well, good job. Nick came up to me and said, man, bro, Sam, you did it. You're here.
Yeah.
And gave me a hug. And,
love it.
You have that feeling of that achievement we feel for each other. And you think, you always miss that, from Blessing to Andrew. They all came up to me and said, bro, we're proud of you, man. You did it. This is something that, gets lost in this social media world of, who's going to be who and who's going to be. And we're like, you don't understand, like, we go through battle all our own. We all have our own battles to get to that stage. And we all understand the battle. So we don't have to say a word. We can look at each other and go, man, dude, I know you've been working hard. I know you've been working hard too. And we can be there for each other enough to say, man, good job, man, well done, And there's that always have that power in bodybuilding that you don't get in other sports.
Yeah.
That power, look at Ogo. We don't need to say a damn word to know that. And that will always create a bond that people will never understand. To be there to know that, okay, my placing didn't work out the way I wanted to do, but your placing did, and I knew what work you did to do it, and I'm still going to come up to you and say, man, bro, congratulations, well done. It's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing, really.
You're all going to have, at the end of the day, like, say, like I had William and I had Rulli on together, and you can see that they're genuine friends. And these are guys that have gone, Williams beat Rulli and won, and then vice versa, and like even on like consecutive shows, and they're genuinely happy when the other one does well, and they're supportive when the other's devastated backstage, and I've seen Rulli in tears backstage, mate, and I've seen guys come up to him and say, no, it's okay, bro, it's okay,
well Yeah, and and this is why this sport is such a powerful thing, and there's such camaraderie in it, and Rest of the fans, they think it's all battle and all bumping heads. And I smile and go, yeah, you don't understand. There's more to it than that. There's a lot more to it than that. We all want to see each other do well. We all want to see each other make it and bring their best to the show. We don't stand there going, well, I hope he screws up. No, we stand there thinking, man, I hope he brings it. You know, hope we get on our best, because at the end of the day, this isn't a boxing match.
Yeah.
It's not a fight. The judges decide who they want to win. We bring our best and they decide that. Why would I be angry or upset for the next guy for him doing exactly what I'm doing and someone else is picking who's winning? It makes no sense. None whatsoever.
Plus, if, at the end of the day, like, I genuinely feel like a lot of the guys want all the other guys to be at their best, because if you beat so-and-so and he's at his best, it's like you want to beat him at his best, not one.
No, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Not when he's coming off or he's had an injury and he couldn't recover from it.
It always leaves you feeling with a bitter taste, because it's nice, but you weren't beating the best version of them.
Yeah.
You weren't beating that. You know, he's like, okay, cool, yeah, you won over this guy, but he wasn't at his best. Oh, okay. You know. And so when you go over there, you want to be like, yeah, I went up against him at his best and his time. And I know for what, that when we retire and we walk out, we're not going to remember all the back and forth, but what we remember is, remember that show we did at this time, and, you know, remember this show. And we're going to remember those memories, and they're going to be powerful to us, you know. So this is the thing, is there's a lot more to bodybuilding than just guys standing on stage with muscles. You got to look beyond that sometimes to see the beauty of it.
Yeah. But before I let you go, mate, I want to talk about this Arnold lineup, because obviously what was your feelings? So initially, what was your feelings when they bumped up the prize money?
Oh man, I was like, holy crap, this is now becoming insane. I was like, holy crap, this is insane. I was like, okay. I mean, for me, I sort of knew that obviously the line was going to get tougher.
Yeah.
I wasn't under no illusions of that. And I was like, okay, you know what? I want to make sure that what I want to focus on is the idea. I want to bring a better physique than I did at Olympia.
Yeah.
I want to walk out Olympia and still have the same shock and going, people step back and go, holy crap, he's changed so much from the Olympia. How the hell is that possible?
In 10 weeks.
I know this is what, and that's what my goal is. Okay, be better than you were in Olympia. Just make a statement. Show how quickly you can truly improve from one show to the next. Let them see it for the first time. Let them see it front and center. Go, okay, we saw him at Olympia. We saw how good he looked. Okay, now he showed up at Arnold just a few weeks and so later, and holy crap, what the hell is this? How can he transform that much in this short time? And say, yeah, we're able of doing that. We're capable of doing that. And that was my goal for this show. You know, because of that. So when they sort of like talk about the competition, who was in it, I'm like, does it really matter? I know I just want to bring my best. Does it really matter? And I know that if I do bring my best, it will be good enough, because we've seen it happen at Olympia. So when I bring my best, it's going to be like, yeah, you'll be good enough to fight for the top spot. And that's what my goal is for this, is just bring the best version of you that you possibly can. Bring a better version that you did at Olympia. Make that version of Olympia look like, you know, I want people to just finish at the Arnold after the Arnold going, man, if you brought that look in Olympia, it would be a different conversation right now.
Like what you did from Prague to the Arnold.
Exactly that.
That was like, that was incredible. You'd think that was 2 years apart, not 4 months.
Yep. And this is exactly what we want this. We want to bring it down and people go, whoa, how can he have changed that much in that short time? And we're looking at it now and we're going, without a doubt, that's what they're going to see.
Oh, I'm excited.
They're going to stand there and like, whoa, whoever saw us in the Olympia, going to be like, man, this is crazy.
I had Sean Clarida on the other week, and he said he was shocked. He said he's been inundated with people going on, we want to see a call out with you next to Samson at the Arnold Classic. Please, we've got to see that. And I'm telling you, I'd love to throw Andrew Jacked in there. I'd love Andrew Jacked, Sean Clarida in the middle, and then you, because I think that would be a call out we'd never forget. Exciting.
Look to look at, right? That would be definitely something that you want to see happen and go, whoa, this is that's a crazy ass lineup, and it'll be fun, man. And this is what I'm saying, because the Arnold now, the lineup way it is so mixed and it's so diverse and it's so everything else, that it has to be it's going to be such an entertaining thing to watch, And I'm thinking, man, if I wasn't in it, this is one thing I'll be looking forward to watch myself. I'll be standing there going, oh, I can't wait, So it's that excitement part of it, because you have so many top guys and so many different physiques and different style of physiques in one lineup, that you just stand there going, man, this is going to be so interesting to see what happens, And I'm excited. I'm genuinely, this is a show where I'm going in there for the first time, especially when Olympia felt like a lot of pressure, and it feels like, okay, you got to perform. I'm going this one completely pressure-free. I'm feeling like I feel good.
Good.
I'm feeling so good with this one. I'm feeling so good in myself. I'm so good going into the show and it feels genuinely nice. And I'm thinking, man, I know it's still 5 weeks, but if it's feeling this good already, and even though I get one more week of feeling this good, I'm like, man, that's a blessing, because what we're bringing now is such a nice physique, and I can't wait to actually get on the stage for it.
Good. And you got Andrew Jack nipping at your heels as well, mate.
Oh yes, man. So this is, I mean, honestly, I really know everybody will say, "Oh, I want to see a call out with you and Andrew," and I was like, "I want to see a call out with me and Andrew."
Yeah.
You know, so it's definitely like, wow, it's gonna be a nice one. It's gonna be an awesome one. And honestly, I'm even looking forward to finishing it off and watching it back myself and saying, okay, let's have a look. What does that look like outside looking in? You know.
So, I mean, obviously now you last year you made like top 4, top 5 at the Arnold Classic. Now you're top 6 at the Olympia. Some guys that do that, they want to do is the Arnold Classic and the Olympia, nothing else. Are you not tempted to go and do like a Nathan D'Asher and start racking up the wins and the prize money?
You know what I've said? I've always said, like, you know what? I know, like, it's almost a thing that once you make, top 5 at Olympia, or you make top spots at the Arnold, you sort of like, you don't do any other shows but the Arnold or Olympia. Well, I don't know, man. For me, I love competing too much. I'm sorry, but I love competing too much. And I'm saying it now that even though if I won Mr. Olympia, I'll still end up doing another show for the sake of doing shows.
Would you?
I love competing. Yes. Wow. Because I love it. It's it's like the thing is, I feel like when you kind of get top 5 in the Olympia and then you only do the Olympia all year, just every year, it feels like your career then it feels very short.
Yeah.
You feel like you only ever have pictures of you doing the Olympia, and then it's like, it's been 5 years, and you be like, that went quick. I only did like 5 shows in 5 years. But I think I want more than that. I want to be able to do a lot of shows around the world and really travel and do shows like for the sake of them. I actually enjoy, because I enjoy doing this. It's not a case of, oh my God, yeah, I got to do a show. Oh my God, I don't know if I'm bothered to prep or not. I'm like, man, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to do this. So I love doing this. I'm like, man, I want on shows for the actual part of enjoying it, because I enjoy doing it.
And you miss out on all those camel rides and going to the big museums of the, and the
nice places.
Yeah. You make the most of it.
I mean, I know that some guys obviously don't enjoy that stage experience. For me, there's nothing like it. When you've worked weeks and months and grafted at your craft and fine-tune this art piece that is your body, and you've done everything, and then that moment comes for you to display it, and they call your name and you walk out onto that stage for the first time. There's no feeling in the world like it. There's nothing that trumps that. And I love that moment every single time.
Good.
And the idea of me only being able to experience that once a year, nah, it's not good enough.
Thing is, if you're still trying to figure out the best look for you, if you do mess up at that one show or the 2 shows you do a year, then that's how. Do you know what I mean? Like Nathan D'Asher spoke to me and he says, I'm going to try a different look at the show and a different look. And I'm like, and he does it. He tries all these different things and brings different packages.
Exactly. And this is it. You want to try different things. You want to be able to opportunity to try to figure out your body, because for you to truly get to your best, you need to have more than one shot to show it. Yeah. You need to try different things and see what works, what doesn't. And guess what? Yeah, you're going to have shows where it doesn't work out. And, you might not win the show because of this reason. You might not, but it doesn't define you as a bodybuilder. It doesn't all of a sudden means that, oh, well, he's no longer as good as he is. You're trying something new. And I feel like when you're able to try those kind of things out in smaller shows, it makes you so much more better and so much more precise when it then comes to bigger show. Yeah. Because things you've tried before that doesn't work. I mean, things that you tried. Okay, we got a chance to try this at this show in Boston. Now we're doing the Olympia. We know not to try that. We know where we can fine tune to make it better. Same thing happens every single time. So it gives you a chance to be able to fine tune your physique just a little bit more, because you get more chance to really try those vital times, those vital weeks that makes prep. It gives you time to fine tune that.
I've seen some of the, like, I remember Paul Dillette, and the best he ever looked was at a French show in 1997. Not the Olympia, not the Arnold Classic. That's the one that, when he used to sign his pictures, I went, oh, that's from the French show, isn't it? And he'd be like, yeah, because he, like, sometimes they come in and the pressure's off and they don't do half of what they do, and they go, oh my God, I looked amazing.
Yeah, and this is it, because the big shows, you have so much pressure going in. You have so much on you to perform at your very best. That pressure does break people. It does make you second guess yourself 500 times. Even though you have a plan, that pressure can easily make you want to try it, change things, and even though you know you shouldn't, then you do that and you regret, oh, why the hell did I do that? Why didn't I just stick to the plan in the first place?
Yeah.
But that pressure can make you make those kind of mistakes. But when you do a smaller show and there's not a lot on the line and you're just doing it to say, okay, well, I want to do it just for this reason or that reason, or I just want to do it to show, compete that part of the world or whatever, it makes you, takes that pressure off of it.
Yeah.
And now you can now try and say, okay, right, let's see what happens. And you then find out you learn a lot more from those times when you're not manipulated because of you're so expected to perform at your best. And there's so much riding on this, specifically one show like the Olympia or the Arnold, that you feel a lot more relaxed going into it. You feel like, okay, I just want to, give it a go, Like I remember this one reason why I always loved when they had the Olympia in September and then they have all the post Olympia shows around Europe. Because I feel like that then gives them a chance for, okay, if you show up at the Olympia, you do it, and then you have so many shows where you can be like, okay, let me try something different and see, before this prep is over, let me do 1 or 2 more shows and just try something different before I wrap up the year. And it gives you a chance to learn a little bit more about yourself. And then when you finish that, you go up to the off season, you get that chance to sort of do it. And this is why I always one thing, like I always love doing multiple shows in one prep.
Yeah.
I
remember when Ronnie did the coffee and vodka with Kevin Ravone, ended up beating everyone. Do you know what I mean? And I saw the best. I saw the best version of Kevin Ravone ever on the British Grand Prix, and I'm telling you, if you'd have brought that, you'd have won the Olympia. Wayne D'Amelia pretty much said it that year. Yeah. So that's mate. We're starting to lose a bit of connection, and I oh my God, I promised I'd keep it really short, and you've done so. I'm gonna let you go, mate. I can't. Sorry, I'm so sorry, mate. But
no problem at all. I really appreciate it.
All right then, mate. Well, I'll let you go, get some food, and all the best with the Arnold Classic, mate. And we're all rooting for you. And I'll be watching the live stream, and I can't wait, mate. Can't wait.
Oh, looking forward to it, man. Thank you so much, guys.
All right,
Thank you
so much. And big pat on the head for Cerberus.
No, we'll do. We'll do. All right, thanks.
All right then, mate. Thank you, Samson.
Thanks, man. Thank you. See you later.
Bye-bye. Conqueror himself, William Bonac.
Hey guys.
William,
thank you for having me here.
Mate, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Now, the last time we spoke was on the Thursday night, amid all the chaos, all the noise of that incredible Olympia. What was that like for you, the Olympia, mate? What's your feelings now looking back?
It was stressful. Like on my point, it was stressful. It was stressful. I can't. I can't talk too much about it.
Yeah.
But it was really stressful, and we were like everything was going well. Until like few days out. I think even the morning, I had my training from Carla, and Carla looked at me and she was like shocked. She was like, because she always tell me, and she was like, wow, and she never did that.
Yeah.
She never said that before. So, and then I don't know what happened, man. After that, it was just, one stress after the other stress. And then we got backstage, cold as hell, no place to rest, so we couldn't even warm up properly backstage because it was just too packed,
Yeah.
Everything was occupied, and you just have to wait for another guy. And even if you had something, you couldn't even move, to do the proper movement. So that was a little bit, and also, of course, the long waiting. I fell asleep.
Did you?
Yeah, the guy had to come awake. They were searching for me, and I went upstairs because it was so busy downstairs. And a lot of these guys, Nick, Big Rami, they were all upstairs, Ian. So I went upstairs as well. And, I was laying on the couch and we were talking, they left. I was there by myself and I fell asleep, man. Yeah.
So do you think, because I was talking to Ron Harris about this on a different show, and I said, because obviously no one expected you guys to be on stage quite that late. I mean, I know there was a lot of divisions, but I think everyone was shocked that it was, and I think some guys aren't affected by the fact that, and other guys potentially, like a few hours difference can make all the difference. What's your feelings?
That's true. That's true. But like I said, everybody, even the guys who want everybody to play second and play third, everybody there on stage. Aside from Derek, everybody on stage didn't look as they looked, in the prior years from Olympia, the top guys. They didn't look that they could have looked way much better. You understand? So, but at that day, they were the best among all of us. So. Yeah, aside from Derek, because we never seen Derek in the open class before. So for him, to see him like coming there was like, wow, was a shock, But for the other guys, we already know the physique. We have seen them several times at the Olympia. So seeing them backstage, I was like, man. And to be honest, even the oil that we put on our body, like we had no lighting there backstage. So you had to pick up your phone and something, you had to shine it, or you have to get close to a bulb light. So it was crazy, man.
Were you, I think, obviously, because I heard about the backstage, and because I spoke to Brian, and he did the backstage security, and I heard that, obviously, thing is, it was a bad combination of so many athletes, more than ever before, and this backstage, because I think you were spoiled in Florida, because it was huge, wasn't it? It was huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. Florida was a different thing. It was like, was way much better than when we got to stay last year. Yeah. And I think it's a miscalculation as well. They should have, I don't see the necessary to let the athletes, come like at 6 o'clock while the show is going to be delayed. You understand? And it's not like we are far, away from the event. You understand? So just make a group app, put into it, hey guys, we are running late. Everybody can see it who's involved in it. And we know, like, okay, do I want to go there or do I not want to go there? But now it's like we are forced to go there, you understand? Because you don't want to go there and, they're on time and you're going to miss your shots, your call-outs, so, yeah.
So you didn't get a heads up that, guys, this is going to be running 1, 2, 3 hours late? You literally turned up at 6 and you had no idea until you were called to go on stage?
We had to turn up around 6.
Wow.
We had to. I was even late and I was like rushing. Another stress as well.
Yeah. You don't need that.
Late. I thought I was late, but I wasn't late.
6 hours early.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So, crazy, man.
So what would you do to suggest, say, if that was the same venue this year, what would you suggest that the promoters do to kind of avoid that issue?
Like I said, make the categories that's going to be on stage first, like pick 2 or 3 categories. Let's say 2 is enough. Let them come like between 6 and make a time schedule like between 6 and 7, be there. They are there, they do the thing, so, and then you let another group, like another 2 categories, let's say, come here around 9 o'clock, understand? Like 9 p.m., you understand? So for sure, once the other group is coming, the other group is already, it's already been on stage, done the thing already. And maybe with the reward them and let them leave, So if you have such a, small space, reward them, let them leave. So the other category can come, do the thing, nobody's bothering them. They can warm up, they have a space to lay down.
Yeah.
Because some of the people couldn't even lay down. So,
really?
Bro, it was tight. It was really tight. Yeah, It was really tight. And then you had also the camera guys, the interviewers, some the team members, everybody walking around. It was hectic. Yeah.
I mean, I've been in tight backstage areas, and I nearly hit a guy in the face with a dumbbell doing side laterals. Do you know what I mean?
That could be possible. That could be possible. Me, I was like, I saw it. I was pumping up. And across me was Samson, Samson Dauda, and he was, doing back workout. And I was like, man, I can't stand here. I couldn't move, and people bumping against you, So I was like, I left to the close to the stage, and I just took, a cable, and I was just pumping up with a cable.
Would you say it was a tense atmosphere backstage?
Everybody wanted to pump up. Everybody wants to do a thing, So. Yeah, it was a little bit tense between that beats. Yeah.
So, apart from the backstage, what was your take on not just the venue, but it being back in Vegas? Because you've been doing the Olympics since 2014.
Yeah, that's true. Vegas was, like we've been so many times to Vegas. I think a new place will do well, but Vegas is, the place that we all know this, but maybe a new place is good as well. I think they should change it every 5 years or, 2 years, and not just the USA, but like worldwide, like they did back in the days.
Yeah.
Understand? To give all at least the opportunity. Let's see if, those people from the USA, if they have to fly over to Europe, let's see how they're going to look. You understand?
Yeah.
So give everybody the same equal opportunities. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, because they just have to travel. Some of them are living in the same state. Some of them travel like 2 hours with the flight. We have to travel like more than 14. Yeah, 40. Yes, drive. We have to like travel like 14 to 16 hours sometimes, depending where we're going.
Hey, mate, be careful what you wish for, though, because the 1992 Olympia, that was over an ice rink.
Where?
In Helsinki in 92. It was an ice rink in the day, and then they actually covered the ice rink, and they put the seats on, and they put the show on, the Olympia.
Yeah.
Freezing.
Okay, that's too much.
Yeah, I think
but it would be nice, for the, like, bodybuilding is known worldwide, and all the supporters, the fans, they all travel like far away to come there each time, so try to switch it a little bit. That would make it for more fun. See, like the World Cup of soccer. They don't stay at one place. You understand?
Yeah.
They move each 4 years. They're gonna move. So, and that's makes it interesting. So every country gets its opportunity, or every let's say continent get the opportunity, to have the show close nearby, and yeah.
So if Dan rings you up today and said, William, I want to know where to put the Olympia on in Europe, where would you say? Where would you like it to be? Next door.
I would say UK. UK is a good place to be. UK, maybe Spain. Spain as well.
Yeah.
Spain. Yeah. Because UK is a little bit cold, so we have to do it around the summertime there.
Yeah.
But UK, Spain, these countries. Yeah.
So obviously, when did you decide to do the Arnold then? Was that before or after the Olympia?
To be honest with you, I didn't plan even to do the Arnold Classic, so I was so in belief of myself, that I would do well at the Olympia, that I'll at least, be in the top 5, and that I could have, sit a year out and, prepare myself for the 2023 Mr. Olympia. But it didn't work out that way. And I still didn't want to do it because I had my blood check. Done, and I was worried. I didn't felt good, so I thought maybe something is wrong. Did my blood work, and I told them, because they were asking me, and I told them, listen, if my blood work is okay, I will compete. If not, don't bother me. So, so I did that, and to my surprise, everything was okay. A little bit inflammation in my kidneys, so I have to take we have to take measurement for that. So I have some medicine to take, but I can't take it right now because I'm in prep, because it goes against each other. So I have to, so right now, like my whole prep that I'm doing, I'm not even taking orals.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just, no orals, just to save myself and not to make it worse than,
Yeah. Sorry, one question I forgot to ask about the Olympia. Sorry, I want to keep going over it. But I saw the pictures at 2 weeks out, and for me, you were looking absolutely bang on target. And then when I saw you at the show, I felt the most obvious place was your chest and your back. They looked like they just flattened out. That obviously was the body parts that it went from. Like when Kamal drops down to 212, he loses the sweep on his legs. With you, even on the Saturday, your chest and back is usually bursting.
Yeah, this like I said, miscalculation, and unfortunately my body is so sensitive, so sometimes, you got to just wait a little bit more, you understand, and see how it reacts, and we just make some miscalculation, and I think this mistake, if I can call it like that, I did it the same thing in 2020, 2021 as well.
I remember we spoke in 2021 because you look kind of flat there, and because you're that kind of round, full, crisp muscle that needs to be full and bursting, because that's your kind of, that's your calling card, isn't it?
True. And then once once you drop so much water, it's like you need some water, to fill out a bit. But once you lose most of the water, because with me it goes quick. I would even naturally, I would get up like every 40 minutes, let's say between 40 minutes in the night to go and pee. So I would pee like 6 times in the night, and 5 to 6 times before I finally can get to sleep. And when I want to get to sleep, I have to get up, because the day start. So. And then imagine with those, with those pills, it's going to make it even worse, So with me, I was just, I'm too sensitive for this stuff, and I have to really find a way, to do it differently. Yeah. Maybe the old school style, less water, building up the water, and then throughout the show, drinking less water, or like maybe a day before the show, no water at all. I think that's better for me.
It personally just looked like you just pulled water too much. It looked like that's all. That's it all. Because the thing is, mate, I mean, who in the last 10 years has been as consistent as you in the pros with your actual conditioning, your body fat levels, your definition? Like, there's no one. The only thing that can scupper you is like in 2021 where you just came in flat. That's it. Yeah, you weren't out of condition.
I couldn't even squeeze my chest. Like I saw. I couldn't even feel the connection with my chest, with my back. I couldn't feel the connection with my back. So this stuff is like it totally changed you. It's like it drains you out. Eat all your muscles. Let me say it like this. With me, some people were good on it. They would do it and eat a lot of food. I can't do that. If I start eating too much, my guts will blow out.
Yeah, it's
like
a fine.
This year as well.
Yeah, it's a fine line, isn't it? It's a fine. But I could see it in your eyes, because even on the Saturday, you could see it in your eyes in your posing routine. You're posing, and like there wasn't the normal stuff happening in William Bonac.
It wasn't there. It wasn't there. Honestly, it wasn't there. The pop wasn't there, and I was like, damn, man, I spent like more than 40K for this prep. Wow. Yeah, brother. Wow. Yes, more than 40K. So my whole Arnold fee that I got last year, or like 2020, yes, 2020, right? No, 2021.
21, yeah.
Classic. Yes. So the prize money, half of that went for my prep because, of course, they would tax it. I have to pay my team, and then was left, put half away for investment. Other half was for the budget for my Mr. O.
Holy
so
shit.
with everything, yes, bro.
Wow.
Yes, more than 40K. I was like 8-9 months on prep.
Wow. Okay.
Can I make a comment?
Sorry.
Yes.
What?
Yes, please.
What?
I think that international athletes that get awarded prize money should be given like the tax reimbursement back.
Tax reimbursement. Oh, we're talking about tax now.
Because the US athletes do not get taxed.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Whereas international athletes, it's huge.
Sorry.
No. That's correct, because I wanted to come back to that. Like you said, at this moment, let me put the charger in.
Yeah.
Sorry for this.
Sorry, mate.
At this moment, I'm even dealing with the tax here, because I pay too much money. I pay too much price money. They take 30% off in USA before you even get it, because of the W8 yen that we have to sign.
That happened to Kamal. That happened to Kamal. But he said by the time he got home, they'd taken the tax.
That has all happened all through us because we don't know the system of the USA. We know the system of our country. So our accountant have to go after it. And here in the country, they are difficult. They want to see papers, everything. So I had to go back 5 years, from 2017 to check everything. And now, yes, and now I got the let's say all the forms that I needed, and I sent it to my accountant. So now they're gonna check if I can get some money back because I paid 30% in the USA, plus I paid here also my percentage that I should pay. Yeah, so I was paying double, and it's not like like if I was American, by born nature, and I was living in the Netherlands as well, I understand I have to pay tax in the USA as well, but I'm not a USA citizen, you understand? I'm a Dutch citizen, so yeah.
Wow. God.
Yeah, I know.
Like, because I went to see Kamal after he won the 212 Olympic. I went down to his house, and he first thing he says, "Hey Giles," he said, "I've come back." He said, "I've won 50K." Yes. He says, and by the time it got my account, he said they'd already taken a big chunk of it.
Yes, 30%. That's a lot of money.
15 grand. 15 grand lost.
Yes, 30%, man.
Wow.
Yeah, true.
Wow. So you're helping build American roads, and you know.
Yeah, we are supporting them.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So now, what I was thinking, like how obviously you've had chance to go over with Chad and everything else. So obviously something didn't go right for the Olympia prep, but something did go very, very right. Forget the Arnold Classic last year, the Boston. I mean, that I have to ask the viewers, right? Where do you think Boston Pro William would have done at the Olympia? Because I think you've been a front runner, mate. Because that, I mean, Samson was fourth. He wasn't even like you said. He should have been second.
Yeah.
So I have to wonder. I mean, that's not like 5 years ago. That was 9 months ago, 10 months ago.
Yeah.
So that's the physique that you could have if. Like I said, it didn't go wrong in those last few days, and obviously the stress of that obviously compounds it. So,
I honestly, it would have even been better.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely, it would even be better. But yes, like I said, we just move on. We know what happened. We know what went wrong. And we just adjust to it. So. God willing, this won't happen again.
No, because it's a learning curve, mate. Because like I said, I'll be honest. I'll completely hold my hands up. After 2020 and 2021, I thought your bodybuilding career was starting to dip off a little bit. Yeah, I was. It was just like, okay, the placings and the way he's looking. And then, boom, what you did with, like you said, 5 weeks with Chad at the Arnold Classic, then the Boston. It was just like, it was such a hugely exciting talking point. So... I was wrong,
So if we can do it, we can do it again, So it's just the mind, Of course, placing ninth at Olympia, when most of the time you were in the top 6, it's a bit it's a hard pill to swallow. You understand, and it kind of demotivates you a bit, But you got to just get over it, and just keep going on. And that's what I'm doing right now. I don't stress myself no more. I don't put no. Of course I'm going there, to win it, you understand? But I'm not pressing myself like, today I need to work out, or I missed a workout, damn, you understand? I'm going to stress myself, or in the middle of the night I will go and work out. I don't do that no more. I missed it, so be it. You understand? The next day is a new day, and that's how I, do my prep now. So try to put less stress on myself, because I think I put too much stress on myself as well, to bring the best package, like too much high expectation of myself, and that kind of I don't know how to say it, but it kind of like puts stress on you too much, you understand? Because you want to do well, you understand, but at the same time, you have to step a little bit back, and I was just pushing it day by day. And the body, what I know of, we need some rest to recover and to grow. And I wasn't even given the time, what I normally do, so.
I think maybe there was, like I said, after Boston, I was just like, I mean, that for me was your all-time best. That was, that look. I mean, Ron Harris said he was there in the audience, and he said, Giles, everyone was fighting for second place. It was absolutely fun, and I think if you do feel demotivated or anything like that, go print some pictures off from Boston and go stick them on your fridge, because that's not 5 years ago. That's not the good old days. That's you now. That's your physique now. It's there's it was just something that went wrong the last few days that prevented you from, like you said, being even better potentially.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, I will do that. After the show, I will go and check the Boston Pro pictures. And,
oh my God, it's incredible. Because I used some footage in an old episode, and I was just like, guys, because thing is, right, I think this is kind of good, this Arnold Classic, because of what happened at the Olympia, people, some fans, the fickle fans are kind of, they're fickle. They're kind of writing you off, and they're not really, and I'm saying, guys, look, you cannot write someone like William Bonac off. Do you know what I mean? This was. It's like you're.
I'm the strong part about me is I know how to deal and I know how to handle with losses.
Yeah.
How many of the guys in the lineup at Olympia in the top 10 do you know that has faced so many diversity and obstacles like I did? How many can come back after that? How many of them?
Mate, look
and most of them haven't even faced anything. They've been winning all the time since they step into the scene, you know. So that's what I mean. Like, you know, I know how to deal with my losses, so I don't mind what people say, whatever they say. Oh, he's done, he's dead. You know, as long as I feel I can go on, I will go on. You understand? So I don't let that even get to me.
Look what you did with the leg injury. Remember when I interviewed you at the Arnold and you said, mate, I was leg pressing a plate with that. Was it the right leg?
Yes.
I mean, that comeback from that was pretty incredible, mate.
True. Yeah, that was the worst year of my life.
Wow. But you got past it though.
True, and placed second at Mr. Olympia, runner-up after Brandon Curry. Yeah. So
I think that ranks up with some of the best sort of comeback from an injury that, apart from Kevin Navarone when he ripped his pec and then came back at the Olympia like 5 months later, like took fifth. It still made top 5, bigger than he was the year before. I think that's up there with that, mate.
God's willing. Yeah. We just going. We don't stop. You know. Yeah.
Good. And I
think the only reason for me to stop is unless health reasons, or that's the only reason for me, like to say, like, okay, I'm done, you know. And until now, I still got to look at Dexter. I'm 40 years old.
You're a baby.
We said about Dexter 10 years ago, 20 years ago, Dexter is done. You know, Dexter was still there. He even won the Olympia in those times. And all those people that were like, oh, Dexter, I beat you, blah blah blah. You know, they didn't win the Olympia. Dexter did. You know, so. Yeah, consistency, you know, and be persistent and, you know, believe in yourself, you know, and you have to be realistic, you know, when it's time, like when I feel like, hey, my health is not going and, you know, I'm losing my legs, I'm losing this and it's not coming back. Of course, I will be realistic and say, hey, you know, now it's time, you know, to hang up my trunks in on stage. Yeah, so.
Well, look what Kamal did last year when he went into Open at 220. You know?
Kamal, for instance.
52.
You know, how old is he?
52.
Okay. So
yeah, now we're talking.
Age is just a number. You know, it's how you feel in your body. Yeah. So
Sean Roden at 43, mate. He won the Olympia.
Yeah, true.
You know, so and
was it not 44?
I'm sure he was 43, and Chris Dickerson was 42. I'm sure he's 43. That's what I've got in my head anyway. Maybe 44. Okay. Sorry, can you move back? I can't see your eyes, mate. So, yes. Thanks. I was just talking to your mouth there.
Yeah. Sorry. Excuse me.
So have you obviously spoke to Chad and say, right, okay, then whatever we did for Boston, you know, I think we need to kind of try and duplicate that again. Maybe not go to the extreme we went for at the Olympia. I mean, what's the conversation been?
The conversation was like, okay, you know, we know what we have to do, especially those last few days, the week. And we were both looking at the pictures, especially he. And he was saying, the last 5 weeks, I look at my best. You know? Yeah, the last 5 weeks, I look at my best. In my opinion as well, the last 5 to 3 weeks, you know, I was looking like at my best. And we over-diet as well. Yeah. You know, so that mistake, you know, we are correcting it right now. And as I say, the plan right now is just, you know, to avoid, you know, any like bad stuff, you know, for my kidneys or my liver to, you know, to get worse or whatsoever. We try to avoid orals. So at the moment, I don't take orals. I think I will start by orals. Maybe one more thing, just one oral. I will start Monday, you know, and then because we are doing this because I was too long on the off season. You get me? Yeah. My off season was way too long with the whole prep. Doing this is too long. So Chet advised me not to do the show, and I told him, bro, you know, I'm good. My blood work is good. I need this. You understand? You know, I need the, you know, the redemption, and it's an invitation. You understand? And if I wasn't healthy, I wouldn't have done it. You know, but I was like, my blood work is, you know, is as good as well. So we can avoid some things and just keep going on. He said, okay, I'm with you. I will help you. But his advice was like, you know, better, you know, rest, take your rest, you know, and then recover yourself. And then we will start looking for another show, you know, going to the Olympia. So
I don't want to upset you here, but it does make me laugh when, you know, you're a 2-time Arnold Classic champion. Your run-up last year arguably should have won. And really, you're coming in as the underdog.
Yeah, that's
How is that possible? But that's the general feeling. I'm like I said, bodybuilding fans can be very fickle, but that's part of the reason why I'm so excited for what's coming,
Yeah, me too, man. Because this is our chance for me and Rami actually, to redeem myself and show the world that we're still among the best. You understand? Even though we are veterans, we got experience and all these things that these young guys are going through, we went through already. So and that's what I mean. So we know, and the only thing they didn't went through yet is the losses. So once they go through that, let's see how they handle themselves with the losses, and then you can see, you can separate the champions among the boys.
Yeah.
Well,
you've had a lot of wins, and you had some losses, but you've also had a lot of wins, mate. Big ones.
Yeah.
Come on.
But always stayed myself. Always
you
myself.
have.
Big wins, losses. Yeah. Always humbled myself, yeah.
So I remember interviewing you at the British Grand Prix, and I got told off, and they said, no, just interview the main guys. I said, I said, no, I said, look, this guy is pretty good. Take it from me. He's up and coming. I said, just trust me. The same happened once when I interviewed Blessing, and they went, no, who is this guy? Don't interview him. Just do the. And I'm like, guys, trust. I did the same with Kamal at the Arnold Classic, and he ended up winning it.
Yeah.
No, they're like, Giles, just do what you want.
Yeah, you got to go for your own guts, man. You're smart enough, so you don't have to listen to people when people say you have to do this. When you feel like, okay, this is the guy you should interview, just go for your guts, man. Yeah. I know it's your boss, but if you do it good, you understand, he has nothing to complain anyway.
Yeah, they don't anymore. They just go, Giles, do what you want. So, are you? And also, obviously, you're going back and forth with like Samson last year. Were you happy for his kind of rise at the Olympia?
Yes. Samson is a humble guy.
Yeah.
That's the people that I can, associate myself with, connect myself with. Humble. In his win, in the defeat, he's humble. You understand? Not those barking dogs. Few years it goes well, and then boom, you fall, and they can't get even up. You understand? This guy is humble. And I love that about him. I think the fans as well. And I remember way back, when I was doing well, he came to me, hey, William, what do you think? He wanted to go to the Kuwait,
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, just keep doing what you're doing, you understand? And don't focus because he's doing well there that you're going to do well there. Do your own thing, you understand? Because maybe you go there, you grow too fast, and before 2, 3, 4 years, everything is over. You understand? So do your own thing. Yeah, take your time, and it will come. Same thing I said to Nathan Disha, before he even competed. You understand? So, yeah, with Samson, I just love his attitude.
Yeah.
I love his attitude, and I love his physique as well. People say condition. Listen, some people can come with condition, striated glutes and all that kind of stuff, and they turn around and they look, like watery. And so everybody got his best part, you understand? So you just have to take it with, of course he can come better, but he's just, coming in the scene. It's his first Olympia, it's now. So people should give him a break sometime, and I think he will do really well if he stay focused, and I know he will, and he will do really well. And I was already rooting for him going into the Olympia.
Nice.
Yeah, because I saw some pictures already. Because I talked to you as well. You was telling me like, William, you're gonna do well, and I told but Samson is gonna do, good as well. So. Let's hope he and his coach figured out, the best formula, so he can come in and do his thing.
It reminds me of like a modern day Cormier, where like say Chris Cormier wouldn't be like proper. The glutes weren't absolutely shredded and but he still made top 3 at the Olympia. He carried like his shape and his asymmetry and his proportions carried him through.
But striated glutes doesn't necessarily say you are shredded.
Yeah,
somebody can be shredded, but he just don't have the genetics for the glutes. Some of the guys don't even have glutes. You understand what you say about that?
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean any shape, But a lot of people say when the glutes is striated, then you are in condition. And I don't agree with that, man. I agree with it's genetic thing. Some people, they have striated glutes, Even me, I look like I didn't look good, at Olympia, but still I had a little bit striated glutes. Understand? Does that say that I was in condition? No. So
thing I like about your physique is that glute ham tie-in. You know where the skin looks like it's tearing?
Yes.
I think that is so
it's
cool.
Like a fist,
Yeah, it's like little lines,
bro,
like where the skin's tearing.
And that's what I mean. I even have that in my off season.
Wow.
You know, so it's just a genetic thing. You know, so yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Going back to like what you're saying about Samson, and you spoke about Hunter Labrada previously, and I like the fact that you always give props and also encouragement and support. Like even when I've texted you, you're bigging up Samson, saying, "No, you know, like I like that. I think that's a really good sign for when athletes do that for other athletes. They're not like all about themselves, you know."
Yeah, because like when we came in, I had also people like Dexter, you know, looking over me, Sean Roder, you know, all these guys. So, and I know who to go to. You understand?
Yeah.
I didn't just go to anyone and take advice. I know who to go to, you know. So, and I see that these young guys, when they come there, a bit nervous, first time, you know, we like the guys who's been there already should like make them comfortable. Like, hey, you know, just relax, you know, you're going to do well, you understand? Just push them up, you know, and they deserve it because they are there for a reason, you understand?
Yeah.
And if you're at the Olympia stage, you are a champion, you know, all the champions go there. So, yeah. And plus, like, if you're good, man. I can't get around you. You understand?
Nothing you can do about it.
If you're good,
yeah.
If you're good, you're good. Yeah. What can I say? Yeah. Yeah.
So, obviously, we've got, I mean, some of the big news for the Arnold Classic is we've got, like, Sean Corrida jumping in, a 212. I know he's done the Legion, and he did very well there. He won that. But what's your feelings on him jumping into this lineup in an open, you know, against such big guys like, you know, big names like yourself?
Yeah, he done it before, so, and, okay, he's short, he's lighter than us, but according to the judges, you know, everything can happen, man. And I know that I saw a lot of interviews on YouTube. You know, people say he can win. Some people say, you are crazy. You know, everything is possible, you know. If he does that, they might as well put the open class, take it away, man.
212.
No, seriously.
212.
Of the 212.
Yeah,
212,
that's my fear. That's my fear.
Yeah. So let everything be just one class, you know. So, no weight restrictions, you understand? So, yeah. Because
that was why they brought the 212. Sorry, go on.
And the guy he looks good. He's in condition for his size, his symmetry, because you can't compare him with someone that's 20, 30 pounds, you know, bigger than him. You understand? You have to compare him with him. The way he looks according to his symmetry, you know, and the big guy, you know, judge him according to the way he looks like. And then you can put it together. You understand? And then you have your decision, you know, but you can't like, oh no, he's smaller. Even though he's in condition, the guy there has more muscle. Let's go with the guy with the more muscle. You know, I don't think it should work that way. And I don't think the judges judge that way as well.
Well, Lee Priest always did well, didn't he? You know?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You know? And it's pound for pound, he's Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean. I keep my mouth shut. You never know. This guy might come there and beat all of us. Even Nick, you know.
Wow.
So, yeah, you never know, bro, because you have to look the way he looks, you know, his condition, his shape. Okay, he's missing the size compared to the other guys, but take the size away. If you take the size away and you look at them, and the best man is shown, then he should win.
Size or height. It's not really size because, I mean, size-wise, he's as big as you or Rami, really pound for pound. Because they say it's 10 pounds per inch. So if he's 5'1" and Ronnie was 5'11", you know, he's 178. I mean, really, pound for pound, if he was your height, he'd probably be the same sort of body weight because he's thick, you know, he's thick and he's conditioned.
Yeah,
you know?
True. So, same thing for Kamel. He's conditioned as well, you know.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't see and I come from the 212 myself.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I remember seeing you in Dallas in 2012. I was there.
That was my first show.
Yeah.
My first show. Wow. Yeah, I think I placed third. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good show.
David Henry won. Tricky Jackson got second, and I got third.
Yeah, that's right. And then it all began, mate. My God.
Yeah, true.
Wow.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago. Yeah, man.
I remember seeing it at the 2011 Amateur Arnold, and then, like I said, when I was over bloody filming Rooley in Rotterdam, and they were like, "No, there's another guy across town. Trust me, he's gonna turn pro. He's awesome." he keeps himself to himself. He's he's not kind of like part of this crew. He's just working away. Watch out for this guy. And the name stuck in my mind, and I came back to MD and I went, apparently there's another guy called William Bonac. Apparently he's awesome.
Man, thank you, man. Yeah, I've known you for a long time. You've always been supportive. Appreciate it, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, then, mate. Well, I'm going to go smash some delts now.
Yeah, man. I have to get some meal in as well.
I can see you getting hungry now. Mate, William, thank you so much, because I'm always, not hesitant, but I'm always like, I'm willing to accept rejection if you guys don't want to interview right before the show,
Because, no, with me, it's like, it's not I don't want to do show. It's just I don't want to be associated with bullshit.
Yeah.
That's it. You understand? And if you're a bullshit guy, you won't see me on your channel. Simple as that. You understand? And even for some people, I don't know them very well, I would tell them, like, listen, like you approached me yesterday, you understand? Most people, I would tell them, no, bro. Next week, you have time, you understand? Even one guy now, you know him as well. He's even in the line waiting, till I get back to him to give him a date, But for you, because I know you from way back, I know your character, and I know you're a good person, and I know you don't bullshit us, you understand? So that's why I'm always, comfortable to come on your channel. Yeah. No, and make the time for it as well.
No, I really, really appreciate it, mate. I really do.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right, mate. I'm gonna let you go. Like I said, I'm off to get into my gym clothes and get shoulders like you, mate.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Do your thing.
All right, then, mate. Care, have a great Sunday, mate, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, it is hot news time for season 5, episode 17 of MD Globe Muscle. Sorry, is that very loud? Sorry, because Lauren's wearing the other headphones, so obviously she's hearing what I'm saying to you right now. Firstly, Lauren, would you like to see my little Willie? Yes. Okay. Well, here he is. It's my little Willie, as you can see, little William Bonac. William, obviously, seeing this episode, actually said he had one, but his I think his son's broke the leg off. Yeah. So, shall I send him this one? Oh, yeah. Shall I? William, if you're watching, of course you are. Silly question. I might send this to you, mate, if you want it, and so you can have, because I don't think it's right that the guy, because they don't make these anymore. Oh. So I still want the Ronnie Coleman one though. I still want the Ronnie Coleman one, because that was also in my gym. I should have showed the video, shouldn't I? Yeah. In my gym, Legends Gym, they've got like a thumb thing, scan thing when you come in and you come in to join the gym, train in the gym. Sorry, brain fart. And when you do it, over the speakers in the gym, really, really loudly comes out, "Yeah, buddy, lightweight," which is very cool. So I sent that to Ronnie, and he was very, very happy about that. So, yeah, I thought it was very, very cool. So anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Globe Muscle. Of course, in this episode, we had William Bonac, the Conqueror. I've known since, I think I've known him since 2011. I knew of him in 2010. Like I said, when I was going to Rotterdam for MD, it was the first ever video assignment I ever did for MD back in 2011. I went in 2010 to get some pictures of Ruli and Sybil and the kind of the team in that gym in Rotterdam. I went over to get some photos from my column, because that was my Euro Muscle Scene column in MD back 12, 13 years ago now. So that's how long I've been with MD. So anyway, I was hearing news about this other guy across town in Rotterdam, very, very quiet guy, sort of didn't really training like a big group of their gym like the Ruli was doing. It was like a team of people. And I was hearing rumors of this guy that was really good, could be as good as Ruli Winkler. I was like, no chance. Nobody could be as big as because that was when Ruli was really starting to kind of make waves. He won the New York Pro in 2010. So, and of course his career has just been, it's incredible what that man has achieved. He's been second to the Olympia. He's a 2-time Arnold Classic. I consider him a 3-time, but no disrespect, Brandon, but I do. He is one of the greats, William Bonac. So one of the reasons I wanted to get him on was because I can't believe people are not having last year's runner-up at the Arnold Classic in their top 3, and so many aren't even having him in the top 5. There's only 10 guys in the show. Lauren, this is just madness. And as you obviously got a good explanation from William what happened. What happened is what I thought happened. I thought, because I saw him 2 weeks out and he was looking absolutely phenomenal. He was in his highest ever off-season body weight. He holds good condition all year round, and I knew it wouldn't be bloat or, you know. So, like he said he would have been better than he was at the Boston Pro. So I just just like I said, if he can bring that, you know, and the thing is, they're going to address the mistakes, aren't they? They're going to address the mistakes. So, and whatever they did for Boston and the Arnold Classic last year, you know, was absolutely bang on, absolutely incredible. So I just wanted to get him on because I just think, I can't believe people are writing this guy off. I mean, I wrote him off in 2021 because obviously he'd slipped down to 5th and 6th at the Olympia. And I genuinely thought his career was kind of on the, what are you doing? Oh, so you're dancing. Okay, I thought you were having a fit or something. And what was I saying? Yeah, and I thought his career was actually on the slide. So I said to him, to his face, you know, there in that interview that you've just seen. And then obviously worked with Chad Nichols in 5 weeks. He did what he did at the Arnold Classic. And then, I mean, Boston Pro, guys, this was only 9-10 months ago. You know, the Olympia, I kind of did say to him, didn't I? So I think he's kind of a victim of his own success because he's been so consistent. So for him to come in, and he wasn't out of condition at the Olympia, he was just very, very flat. I mean, his chest and back, like he said in the interview, he said he was just like, there was no, even when I interviewed him on the Thursday, I should have picked up on it because he wasn't, he was a lot friendlier, you know, not friendlier, but a lot more upbeat today. And, you know, the pressure's off, the show's over with. But obviously on the Thursday night, he must have known. I think now looking back, I think he knew because he was really kind of, you know, I thought maybe he was just a bit overwhelmed with the amount of people that was there. You know, you were filming. Hang on, you were filming for me. So anyway, let's just have a quick look at some pictures because I tell you what, you know, guys, I know bodybuilding fans have notorious short memories, but do not forget that for me, William Bonac is one of the front runners coming in. And also, before we get going, if you look at the Boston Pro version of William Bonac, go and honestly ask yourself where you think that would have placed at Olympia. Lauren, where do you think? I mean, have you really seen the Boston Pro to see how? Do you remember how good he looked?
Yeah, he looked really. I've got the picture on my phone from our pro hosts.
Okay. Oh, we'll come to that in a bit. Yeah. So I think he'd have been third. I'm not sure whether he'd have beaten Hadi or Derek. I think that was a really kind of close top two. I think the top two was pretty. But I think he'd have beaten Nick. He'd have definitely beaten Brandon, and obviously he would have beaten, obviously because they're placing behind him. But he'd beat Ramy and Samson. I think the Boston Pro William Bonac, which was only 10 months ago, would have been third in the Mr. Olympia. So, you know, really for me, in my eyes, he's still a top 3, top 5 guy in the world. He's not 9th place, but even when he can come in flat as a fart, he can still be 9th place, you know? So that just tells you how good. So don't forget just how good William Bonac is, guys, because I've got a feeling he's going to give us a bit of a reminder in, what is it, 6 weeks now? 5 weeks? 5 weeks? 6 weeks?
5 weeks.
Yeah. So, I mean...
My exam's in 5 weeks.
Sorry? Your exam. Yeah, so 5 weeks. Yeah, 5 weeks. Yeah, so I've got a feeling he's going to shut a few people up because everyone's raving about all the other guys. And to not have William Bonac in the top 5... and even to expect that he'll look like he did at the Olympia, that's not going to happen again because I think it was just diuretics. I think they just overdid the diuretics. And I think with the combination of being late on stage, I think maybe they mistimed it. And, you know, because he must have really, really overdone it because even on the Saturday, he didn't pull it back. And normally, any mistakes you make on the Friday, you can kind of pull it back on the Saturday for the finals. But I think he knew he'd just blown his chance. So it must have been very disheartening for be up there. But anyway, let's go let's have a look at some pictures. Firstly, I took these pictures. This was in 2017 at the Arnold Europe. Ramy won this one and William was second. William had just taken second at the Mr. Olympia to... What am I talking about? That was Ramy who was second. Sorry. William was third. And then... Yeah, so Ramy won this one. Hang on. So, yeah, so I took these pictures. They are. That was... it was Ramy first. William Bonac was second. Sean Roden was third. That was when he broke his jaw and he wasn't at his best. Fourth place was... Ruli Winkler. Nathan Diasha was fifth. That was a really good show because when Nathan first came out, I thought he was around second place, and then he just faded. You know, so many of these guys, they can get better, and so many guys can kind of fade. Like Hadi when he first came out at the Olympia, I thought, oh, he's off. He's off. But look what he did at that prejudge, and obviously what he did that weekend, because he bloody won, and he won it quite clearly. But and then we had obviously Derek, who kind of looked absolutely phenomenal when he first came out, and then he just kind of held it, you know, whereas some guys like Hadi and other guys, they kind of get better, you know. So it's a lot can happen in these shows, especially when these, and also the Arnold Classic's over 2 days this year. Yeah, so normally the Arnold Classic, the prejudging and the finals are all on the same day. Now they're spread out over 2 days, so that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Also, I wonder if Rowley is done now. I think he might be. I think he might be. I wouldn't mind seeing him come back at the Masters Olympia though. Yeah, we'll come to that as well very, very shortly. But there's Arnold. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I think I quite like the fact that, like I said to William, I said, someone with a pro career, you've been around competing in the pros since 2012 when he started as a 212. You hit most musculars again, darling. And he's coming in to the Arnold Classic as a 2-time Arnold Classic champion and last year's runner-up, and yet really you can consider him to be the underdog. I mean, that's how crazy bodybuilding is, you know, and how crazy bodybuilding fans are. So, like I said, I'm pretty. I would, if I was a betting man, I would put money that William Bonac is gonna shut a few people up, and I think it's safe to say he's gonna be top 5, top 3. Imagine if he won it.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, and he's rooting. The thing is, do you know what he said? He was rooting for Ramy as well because he wants Ramy to get redemption as well. That's one of the things I really like about William. Actually, he's really supportive of the other guys. And it's not fake as well, because I've spoke to him off camera and on camera, and I've spoke to other pros as well who kind of, you know, acknowledge that. You know, I think it's really nice to see. So when was this? Oh, see, this is last year's Arnold Classic. See, look, like his back there was kind of flattened right out at the Olympia. I mean, his chest and back, normally even his rear double bicep, which is his kind of like money shot. I mean, that, it just wasn't, I mean, it must have been disheartening for him. I mean, he didn't smile once in his posing routine, did he? No. And normally his posing routine, he comes alive, and he's such a beautiful poser as well. So, yeah, I'm like, do you know what I like? As I said to him, I said, he's got those little lines. Look at these little lines in his leg there. See there?
Yes.
See that? I mean, actually, it looks like the skin's tearing. I love that look, and it's so rare. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other bodybuilders I've seen it on. It's very, like, especially in the side chest or the side shots, and you see it and you get those little lines. I don't know what they are. Are they veins or skin? Or I think it's veins, isn't it?
I don't know what that is.
But it looks so cool. Doesn't it look cool, Lauren? It looks cool. Looks cool. Yeah, we've got to be mindful of time as well, because we're filming this in a funny order, and I've got Samson on shortly, so I'll have to keep it moving and grooving. I like your Stella Wumping. So I sang that once. Yeah, so yes, his chest wasn't like that at the, yeah. Oh, he looks sad there, doesn't he? He looks sad. Yeah, I like William. He's always been the same. He's always been good to me. He's always been great to interview, and he's a very real guy. You know, he's I mean, you never ever you never see him or get like a fake vibe from him at all. What's that? Which one?
The most muscular.
Oh, you love most muscular, don't you?
My favorite pose.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Who took that one? Who took that one? Does it say?
Derek as well.
Yeah, God, Derek, man. You know, I don't think Derek's doing the Arnold. I think we'd know by now. I think that's it now, because obviously with the big news was Ramy jumping in. I don't think we're going to see any more last minute entries. Of course, Patrick Moore. I tried to get Patrick Moore on, you know, he didn't respond. WhatsApped him and I DM'd him, but I don't think he's even read the messages. So maybe he's going deep undercover, deep ops to try and really kind of pull it out the bag, because, you know, his career hasn't really gone maybe the way he expected after his 10th place at the 2019 Olympia, which he was one of the biggest talking points of that show. I was there. And yeah, see, this is, I mean, I'm going to try and see if there's any Boston Pro shots. Look at that. I mean, look at the lines there. Look. See that? I like that. That's cool. That's really cool.
It's like somebody stapled his staple.
Yeah, it's just those staple guns.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I think he's got one of the best riddable biceps in the game. I mean, top to toe. It's not just the back. I mean, we're talking everything. I mean, literally from his dreadlocks down to his socks. I mean, the guy is absolutely incredible. I mean, and I cannot believe, I don't fucking get it why so many people are writing him off. I mean, they've literally gone, okay, he's done now. Finally, he's done. But, you know, what is he, 41? Dexter was, 52 when he retired? I mean, William could still be, I mean, he's had a very good pro career. I mean, he's been around competing in the pro since 2012, so he's been around 10 years. A good pro career is 10 years. And he obviously overcame that leg injury that he had back in 2019, overcame it and then came second at the Olympia. You know, I mean, just don't forget what this guy's been through and what he's done and what he's achieved. It's like he said, I felt like saying, like, mate, I'm not going to get the violins out when he was talking about losses. I'm like, William, apart from the Olympia, which you've been second in, you've won everything multiple times, you know? So, I mean, he's a very decorated, talking about decorations, we've got to take our treat. Guys, we're very, very busy people. We have very little time together. Lauren's studying and working and training hard and stuff. And at the end of the night, I mean, the last thing I want to do is take the Christmas tree down. I think Michael Hearn would be impressed because he's crazy. I spoke to him the other day, actually. I think we're going to get him back on Global because the last time I had Michael Hearn on, there was a couple of things we touched on, subjects that I felt like we could have gone a lot deeper on. So I think we're going to get a few topics and we're going to go through them because I think there's a couple of things we're sort of connecting on, but I think a really good conversation on Global, I think it'd be very interesting. And I feel like we're starting to get that chemistry going, that vibe, you know? But I've got a feeling there's a really good segment of Global Muscle brewing between myself and Micah Hearn. So I've just got a feeling there's, like I said, a couple of things we can touch on that I think will be absolutely amazing. A little bit different because, like I said, it's always trying to keep things fresh and different and interesting with Global and different styles of interviews. In fact, I don't even like calling them interviews anymore. I like to call them conversations. Why are you gazing at me like that? I get it. Sorry. Yeah, see, look at the eyes. See, look, he knows. Look, he knows. See, the chest there just looks... I mean, it doesn't actually look... It actually looks better in photos than he did on stage, actually.
It's not like super pumped.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a thick chest. I mean, see, look at the leg there. That even the hamstrings aren't popping. I mean, his glutes are coming out more than his hamstrings. And ask him. Yeah. So, also, I forgot to ask him. Remember last year when he won the Boston, he won that truck? Yeah. He said he was going to give it to his mother in Ghana. So I wonder what happened with that. I'd be interested. I'll have to ask him. I'll text him.
It's easier just to sell it and then put the money over.
Do you know who this guy is?
Let me have
This guy here on the left. And how old do you think he is?
I think I kind of know him. He's like 19 or 20.
Yeah, it's Chad Nichols' son.
Yeah.
And he's like over 6 foot. And I think 18, 19 or something. Apparently when he was 16, he was like squatting 5 plates. Yeah. Yeah. And the best time to get hold of Chad Nichols is like, working out with the time difference is like 3-4 a.m. He said, Giles, the best time the most likely time you'll get a response from me is like my time, 3-4 a.m. Because that's when he likes to sit down and actually do his coaching and all his stuff on his computer. Probably because when you've got family and you've got kids and stuff, it's like Ronnie. I mean, Ronnie, when we went to the London seminar, and I went to his room and we went down for breakfast and stuff at the hotel in London. And I said, what time do you get to sleep, Ronnie? And he said, about 5 a.m. He says, yeah, I never really go to bed till like 3-4 a.m. He said, between 12 and 4, that's when I do all my emails. And that's when I like to sit down because obviously he's got a house full of, people, children, his wife. And I think they've got some other family members living there. So I can imagine it's absolute chaos. So I suppose that's the only time when there's a bit of peace and quiet, really. I get it, So, and he gets up late as well. That's why I've always never tried to get him when we do nothing but a podcast. I don't ever try to get him too early. Yeah. So anyway, I've gone for a lot of tangents here. Always the best episodes when we do that. Like I said, just, we all know about William Bonac, but let's have a look at I want to see the Boston Pro because that for me is the best William Bonac ever in the history of the world. He was good at the Arnold Classics. Like I said, guys, you telling me this ain't gonna be top 5 if he looks like that at the Arnold Classic? Really, he should have won the Arnold Classic last year. Sorry, but I love you, Brandon. I love you to bits, mate. You're my bro. See, look, the chest there. Look, see the chest. He looks full and hard. And who is more consistent with their conditioning than William Bonac? I mean, answer me that, guys. Really, if you think about it, in the last 10, 12 years, name me another pro that's been as consistent, to this level. I mean, look at that. It's magnificent, isn't he? He's fantastic. Wow. Absolutely incredible. To think he started as a 212. I was actually at his first. I didn't realize that was his first. Actually, I did realize that was his first pro, the Dallas show that I was at in 2012. That's when I went out for the gasp thing. I went for the party. Me and Simon Fan went out and had a good old time. And yeah, that was funny because I was at the like there was a big gazebo thing. And there was a big event. It was like the groundbreaking for the destination, the new gym and the offices. And Zach just popped up, and I only spoke to him a couple of days before. I said, "Did you not think to mention that you were coming out as well?" So anyway, again, a lot of tangents. Right, okay. So we've, like I said, we know all about William Bonac. He's awesome, and I am rooting for him for the Arnold Classic. And whatever mistakes him and Chad Nichols made at the Olympia, I guarantee it won't be happening again, guys. I think they're gonna bring him in absolutely bang on, and don't be surprised if he wins it. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think that that's a shocking thing to say when the guy is a 2-time Arnold Classic champion, you know, and last year's runner-up. I mean, come on, it just shows you how quick people can move up and down in this sport. So there's no Boston Pro pictures. So anyway, so like I said, guys, go out and check the Boston Pro. You're moving me on, Lauren. I can understand because we are very limited for time. Okay, in this episode, or about to interview, literally right after we film this, is Samson Dauda. I mean, like I said, we show Samson all the time because there's so many updates and so many things come from Samson. And this angle here, I said to him, what did I say? I put a comment here. Basically, well, yeah, I said that's the most evenly developed chest I've ever seen. Watch this. Look at the chest. Now, look at the upper pecs, the lower pecs. I mean, everything. I mean, he's proper. I mean, he's got a stripy chest. We like stripy chest as much as stripy delts. I wonder if I think guys have site injected their chests, you know. I mean, that's stupid, that is. I mean, that's right close to the heart. I wouldn't advise that, you know. So, yeah, I think he's looking really bang on for where he needs to be for 5-6 weeks out. You know, I'm not a coach, but I have competed and I know what good condition is. So I imagine Milos is very, very happy. I mean, he didn't have chance to go out of shape after the Olympia anyway. And I think he did know he was doing the Arnold Classic, didn't he? No, he said to us, didn't he? He said to us. And then I said, Milos, I said, Samson's got some news for you, mate. And he went, we're doing the Arnold. And Milos said, yeah, I was kind of hoping you'd say that. So, but like I said, it looks fresh. And we'll find out by the time you watch this, you'll have found out. Because I was worried that he was going to burn out. But yeah, I mean, with Samson, he's on a roll now. And I think finally that momentum that he was been trying to get for the last couple of years, you know, during the pandemic and all that bullshit. I feel like he's on a roll now, and I just think he's just completely, you know, I mean, to make top 6 at the Olympia, you know, when he's only won one pro show, you know, so, and he was 4th place at the Arnold Classic last year, but this is the look that we all want to see as the next Mr. O. I totally agree. Yeah. I mean, I like the fact he's tall as well. I do. I'm sorry, Haddy, sorry, Derek, but I do like the fact he's tall.
Can you do that thing that
what? The booby dance. Well, it's not live. I mean, I can't ask him. I mean, I can't ring him and ask him to do it now. It's this is pre-recorded, dear.
It's like the glute roll.
Yes, the ass roll. I always want sushi after that. Ass roll. Who you calling an ass roll? What'd you call me? Sorry, bad joke. That's all I've got. Right, okay. Yeah, it's not really much to show because I said we show Samson every single week anyway, but I mean, here's another guy that could win the Arnold Classic, you know? So imagine if he did win the Arnold Classic. Imagine that, winning your second pro show just after placing top 6 at the Olympia. And look at his legs. I said to him, I put a comment, and I said, mate, you remind me of a racehorse. You know, when you see racehorses and they're really shredded and all the veins and they're lean, and then they've got these upper thighs on their back legs. Yeah. And they're like just absolutely gigantic. But he's got nice lines, and we've spoken about Samson many, many times. But yeah, I mean, he's just incredible, absolutely incredible. And yeah, like I said, I think you just get the best is very much yet to come from Samson Dauda. Trust me on this. I think the next year or two is going to be absolutely phenomenal and very interesting to see what he can bring. And also, I mean, look at the condition of his legs here. Look at that. I mean, the condition of his quads here. Look, wait till he flexes them. Now, look at that. I mean, they were like that on stage. I mean, look at the separation here. Look at that, the detail. And he's not dropped water and tan or anything on, and no oil. And yeah, I think and obviously he's got the confidence now from making top 6 at the Olympia. And also, something he posted on is, sort of on Facebook, he's the highest placed Brit in the Open since Dorian Yates.
I believe that. Yeah.
Well, there's nothing to believe. It's just, that's, I mean, you know, I think that I'm just.
It would have been Luke before him.
No. Luke was 12th place in 2019. The only one I can think of is 2003, 10th place, Ernie Taylor. Ernie Taylor. So I've tried to get Ernie on. He won't come on. And I get on really well with Ernie. I wonder why he won't come on. Maybe I think sometimes guys that aren't, you know, in bodybuilding anymore, they just left that part of their life behind. But you think you'd want to? I'd love to get him in the studio. I mean, imagine getting Ernie Taylor in the studio. I saw him when he turned pro in 1995 at the British Finals. I was 19 years old, sat next to Kevin Horton, bugging him because I was sat there with my Minolta camera. I mean, it was a decent camera, SLR camera, and basically sat next to one of my photography heroes, you know, Kevin Horton. Oh, we better move it. Right, okay, then I'm going to quickly go to Bodybuilders Without Borders. What, sorry? Yeah, well, he's a friend now. But yeah, he was. Do you know what? He was very cool though, and he answered all my questions. And yeah, so anyway, there's nothing on Bodybuilders Without Borders, really, apart from, you know, the list now for the Arnold Classic, which is bloody. I thought it's a good competitor list now. I think we've got a good lineup. Also, it means it's not just one call out; it's going to be 2 call outs. So, I mean, I feel sorry for the guy who's going to come last in this because that's a really good lineup. Yeah, I suppose. There's no shame in coming last place at the Arnold Classic, especially when there's only 10 guys. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I still would like to have seen maybe 2, 3, 4 names in, even not like big names. Like, do you know what? I think Jamie the Giant or James Hollinshead or, you know, some of the European guys. I'm surprised Theo didn't try and apply for it because, you know, there's a guy that can compete and just keep competing, and it doesn't seem to affect me. It actually gets better.
Well, they will have their time.
They will have their time, yeah. But I hope they rectify this mistake for next year because, you know, you got the Olympia where there's been said that there was too many competitors in certain lineups like the Classic and even the Open where there was like 30 guys. And then you've got not enough. People complain about not enough at the the Arnold Classic. So I think I don't want to see less than 15 guys in any pro show. Sorry, in any lineup. I'd like to have seen 16, 17. I would.
No, keep it at 10.
Oh, God. No, I want more guys. And the thing is, I like to see some of the newer guys get an opportunity. Like I said, someone like Jamie the Giant, it'd be a novelty. He's tall. He would look good. He wouldn't disgrace himself. You know, it's a big show to kind of open up the fan base and be noticed and recognized. Like when Morgan asked... Well, I don't know. I like to say Jamie the Giant when he did... sorry, you've thrown me now. Morgan asked when he made his pro debut at the 2020 Arnold Classic. Yes, he was last place, but it did kind of get him... It got a lot more eyes on him than if he'd have gone and got 7th at some mid-range pro show. You know? So, I mean, yeah. So anyway, I mean, obviously, that's not going to listen to me, are they? But, yeah, that's just what I think. And I can't even decide who I want to win. I would be happy for Rami and happy for William, happy for Sean Corrida, happy for Samson, overjoyed for Andrew Jack, you know, and obviously Nick Walker's won it as well, so it'd be cool to see him win it a second time. So yeah, like I said, it's anyway. Okay, we've got to really move it on now. So I'm gonna wrap it up quickly. Why am I bringing? Oh yeah, that episode with Zach Khan last week and Andrew Jack. For me, that was my favorite episode of season 5. I was so happy with it, and look at this amazing thumbnail. I wonder who did this one, Lauren.
So I'm kind of busy at the moment. I have to take a slight
I'm learning. I'm basically learning new skills. So Lauren was too busy for all you guys out there. So guys, you know, she's discarded us. She doesn't care. She went, Giles, you do it yourself. So of course Yes. So basically, obviously I found a nice photo of me and Zach. That was from 2008. That was a Kevin Horton shot. I think it's pretty evenly matched. This one, me and Zach. So I had to post this as well because this was 15 years apart. Hang on, 15. Yeah, 15 15 years apart, so I don't get that wrong. Yeah, so 2008. So I've known Zach since 1998. I remember when he was a junior and he had like an Ali G ponytail and his little goatee beard. And I went backstage. It was supposed to be natural then, all just on, I think it was natural then. He was like 19, 20. And his arms, I mean, his arms must be 19, 20 inches then. I mean, he was just a freak. So, but Zach is obviously, he's more than just a physique. He's more than just a freak of bodybuilding. You know, I mean, as you saw in last week's episode, if you've seen it, if not, please go and watch it. Zach is, he's not just hilarious and outrageous, but he's got some really good insights, some good thoughts. And I think I love getting Zach on, and you can always guarantee that if you just get Zach on, I mean, the episode's going to be absolute gold. And like I said, me and Zach have got a good vibe going. We've known each other for years, so he feels comfortable, so we can have a bit of laugh and a joke and everything. And I just feel like you know, it's always great when we get him in, and I'm going to definitely try and get him back in the studio. Okay, then quickly. Oh God, you really better wrap it up. Okay. Now, big news this week for myself anyway, was that myself and Lauren have been asked to do live stream commentary by Jake Wood and Alina Popper at the Masters Olympia in Romania, Cluj. Oh my God, OMG, OMFG. I mean, totally tigerific news, obviously. And so I'm absolutely thrilled about that. So, you know, for obvious reasons, you know, many obvious reasons. And now obviously myself, Lauren, started doing the live stream commentary in 2021. And we've kind of become a bit of a dynamic duo with the live stream hosting. And we really enjoy it. And we're getting asked back to a lot of events. We're booked. We're getting a lot of bookings for this year already. Even the promoters in all around Europe wanting us to do regionals and not just pro shows, but pro qualifiers. So we've decided to give ourselves another title of the pro hosts on Instagram. So please give us a follow. As you can see, we've already got a few followers. And so just basically we're going to start updating that with us updating you know, what we're doing as live stream hosts. So, you know, we really enjoy it. We love doing it. And I think I think the competitors and the promoters, you know, do appreciate it because we get a lot of reposts and a lot of good comments. And at the end of the day, the promoters want us at these events. So, so we love the travel. We love this, you know, meeting people and, you know, and giving our constructive critique, you know, because these shows are long. I mean, they're like 10, 12 hours sometimes, but we don't, I mean, Lauren, we absolutely love it, don't we?
Love it.
Yeah. And also, and it's good, you're even good with the male categories that I can bounce ideas off. You have your own sort of opinion, not just on the female categories. So you obviously lead the way on the female divisions as well. So, yeah, so the pro hosts is basically Lord and Lady Tigerington, a.k.a. Giles and Lauren. And, so, well, like I said, please just give that a follow. And, and any promoters, you know, just hit that. We've got an email address and everything. So if you want to get bookings, book us for any live stream commentary for your events. We'll email you back. What's that, Lauren? Oh, hashtag drop the mic. Douche, don't drop the mic, please.
And also interviews. We can do
interview. Oh, yeah, because you do interviews as well. Yeah, you were running back and forth. You were doing both. I mean, that was incredible. And even Behruz, I mean, he doesn't even speak English, and you managed to knock out a 2-3 minute interview. So, Lauren, I tip my hat to you. And so we'll be talking more about that. And obviously, there'll be an official graphic of the Masters Olympia, but I'm absolutely thrilled about that. And really, the next step up for then is, well, you know what that is, don't you? You know? Okay. But I don't know how that's going to work because I want to be at the Olympias for MD. So oh, shit, we better go. Right, okay, then. And, of course, MD Instagram, we did a live power hour on, what day was that? What day was it? Tuesday? Wednesday? Friday, okay. Which was absolutely fantastic. It wasn't quite a power hour. It was nearly power 2 hours. A lot of fun. Please go and watch it. I've watched it back a couple of times. And myself, Ron, and Jen, she's bringing up kind of footage that we're talking about and images and we're discussing it. We covered so many subjects and I can't wait to do another live one. I've got to be honest. So, and this was Jen's idea. So Jen, thank you so much. That was a great idea. I wasn't sure it was going to work as a live with the power hour because I like to prep for it and we like to discuss the topics, but it just worked beautifully and we covered so much. And the 2 hours absolutely flew by. And it was absolutely brilliant. So, so please go and check that out. It's on the MD YouTube. Okay, then, guys, also check out the latest issue of MD with Derek Lunsford there on the front cover. I think it's the first front relaxed ever. I think, to our knowledge, because it was so, his shoulder to waist was so dramatic. Yeah, and also I'll talk a little bit next week about this picture, because this has got me. This has got the fire burning, because I'm making quite a few changes to my own physique at the moment. Obviously, I'm past my recovery now after last year, the Irish incident. And yeah, I think that's inspired me a little bit. So, George, if you're watching, mate, it is on. The challenge, the gauntlet has been dropped, not just the mic. So yeah, I'm quietly working on a few things with my own physique in the next few months, but just gonna quietly chip away and see what happens. And maybe, you know, do I get a picture on the front cover if I do that? Do I get a picture? Back from the dead. Right, okay then, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And please do not forget to hit the notification bell and like, share, and subscribe. And, of course, we do appreciate all the comments, you know, all constructive comments. And also, you know, any requests for interviews and stuff like that, please let us know and we will oblige. And that is it, my friends. Okay, then. Another episode of MD Glow Muscle done. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And ladies and gentlemen, we are out.